Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Mark is sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, let's do this. Brock and Salk Show here on Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, Seattle Sports app, all the podcast platforms, 97.3 HD2, and YouTube. Yes, that's the last one, where you can watch the show, which is super exciting. You don't just have to listen. You can even watch, which is great. Feel free to do so. We'll take you however you want to join us and be with us. If you're on the app, we got a little Here's the Thing coming later today. Maura looked like a decent batch of messages for Here's the Thing at 8 o'clock.
It was all right.
It was all right.
I'll check again if you guys want to submit anything before
all right.
8 a.m.
All right, we'll give you 2 hours if you want to get something in there under the gun. Maura will do a little last-minute work. Maura never stops working, so she will help you out and get you loaded for today at 8 o'clock, which is great. A couple guests today. Justin Toole, who is the Mariners' Director of Player Development, kind of slid into that role this year after Andy McKay left, so he's really in charge of the farm system. I want to talk to him about Colt Emerson and kind of what's in store for us now, and Ryan Sloan and Kate Anderson and kind of everything else going on the farm and how it plays its way up at the big leagues. So we'll do that at 8:30, and then Adam Jude at 9:30, mostly because he broke what turned out to be the big story yesterday. I think the JP story is great. I assume you guys have heard at this point that JP Crawford came to the organization. He talked to Dan. His agent talked to Justin Hollander and just said, hey, I'm willing to move to third. What do I need to do? If it helps the team get better, how can we do this? You want me to move to third? I'll move to third. Okay. Like that sounds great. They didn't have to approach him. They didn't have to have an awkward conversation. They didn't have to say, hey, we're bringing up, Colt Emerson, and here's what we'd like you to do. I hope you're okay with this. They didn't have to beat around the bush. All of the conversations from social media saying, oh, the Mariners are afraid of JP. And, well, it turns out none of that was true. JP came to them and said, yeah, what do you want me to do? I'd be happy to move to third base. If that helps the team, that's what I want to do. I want to help the team win. And kudos to him. It is very rare. I'll tell you who didn't do that. Any guesses? Any guess what famous shortstop who had absolutely no range at the position and yet had a better shortstop, a younger shortstop, playing third base just a few feet
Nomar?
to his right? Not Nomar.
Oh, I got it.
Said, actually, I'm going to continue to play shortstop until my dying day. I don't care who the better defensive player is.
That would be the man with negative 162 career defensive run saves.
Who was that?
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter.
Oh, I should have known that's where you
The
were going.
great captain, the most wonderful leader, the greatest captain who ever lived. Except that when his team needed him to move to short, because they had, Alex Rodriguez, who was better at the position, he's like, actually, no. I'm just going to stand here and occupy this little space that I'm not particularly good at playing forever and ever, all the while getting accolades galore about what a wonderful captain I am. JP just showed up Derek Jeter. This is how you do it, man. This is how you do it. This is how you try to help your team win. This is how you try to put the best product out on the field. This is how you play unselfishly. Tremendous work by JP Crawford. Couldn't think more of him for doing this. Just awesome. And I'm sure it'll get a little complicated. He's going to have to figure out the position. Brendan Donovan's going to come back at some point. He's already learning the position, so now you got a lot of people learning third base. None of them are really third basemen. So I don't know how that's going to work. Maybe Donovan ends up going to the outfield. Maybe Randy ends up DHing more. It's not like I'm looking to get either Raley or Canzone out of the lineup every day because both of them have hit really well, especially against righties, obviously. So, I'm glad he's doing it. I'm not entirely sure how it works. we're not entirely even sure that Colt Emerson is going to hit well enough at the big league level to stay there. So all of this may end up being kind of a moot point. But in the meantime, it's just great leadership. What does Brock call it? Servant leadership? I think this would fall under that category. I don't entirely know what that means, but I think this falls under that category.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, but do you think the timing of this had anything to, like, in my brain, I'm like, I wonder if JP saw just how much chaos the piggybacking thing was and how the decisions they have to make. It's like, you know what? I'm taking one decision that you might have to consider off the table. And
it's certainly possible. I would assume that it's been in the works for longer.
Okay.
I have to. Like, it's not something that you just decide on a whim.
Yeah.
It's a pretty major career decision. And it does, look, it has short and long-term implications. Is JP going to be, remember, his contract's up at the end of the year. All the comments, and I'll play them for you coming up in Need to Know here in just a few minutes, all of the comments from JP are like, hey, I want to be a Mariner for life. And if this helps me stay here, that's what I want to do. Are you signing up for JP Crawford as your third baseman moving forward? It's a conversation. Got to see what it looks like first. The bat's been really good. Is it third baseman good? Does it have enough power to play third good? I mean, I think all of those are real conversations. But regardless, he opens those conversations up by showing why he's as well-liked inside that clubhouse as he is. It's a great thing to do.
I mean, I'm going to guess there's a part of it, too, that him and his agent, or at least his agent, probably knows what teams around the league think of him defensively at shortstop at this point, and they're saying, okay, you got to give yourself more options when you hit the market.
I'm sure that there is an element of selfishness that comes with the selflessness. Absolutely. Yes, there are some things that work out well for JP. It's still rare. Even with that, you're absolutely right, Lyle. I'm not ignoring that. But even with that, it's still a rare quality. It's still incredibly impressive. And it's so unusual in this day and age for somebody to make that kind of a decision. So good on JP and good on the Mariners for finding a way to come back, or not to come back, but to win that game yesterday. A couple of home runs late. I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of texts because we don't, after a win, most of the late night Mariners texts kind of go away, especially after a day game. But the two that came in that I wanted to just jump into quickly. One says, finally got around to the Seattle Sports app. Thank you. So I listened to the game while driving to Circle K today. Strange things afoot. Johnny Pareda getting his first home run made me so happy. I really like him. He's a versatile guy. And Randy is amazing. I'm with you, Salk. This guy is freaking goated. Well, hold on. I'm not goating Randy Arozarena. I just like him. Finally, I've also heard rumors that Randy could be gone after this season. I hope that doesn't happen. Zach from Pasco. Yeah, I mean, look, Randy wants to go get paid. I think it's not rumors yet, but Randy's in the last year of his deal. It's hard to imagine the Mariners are going to sign him to a long-term contract because it doesn't seem that happy here. It seems like he would probably want to go somewhere closer to Florida. And that's okay. The Mariners are in a good position to be able to offer him a qualifying offer. Assuming that he's going to reject it. It's a one-year offer that I think Randy would probably say no to, and that gives them then the opportunity to get an extra pick. So I would assume that's the direction that goes. They offer him the qualifying offer. He rejects it. He ends up signing somewhere else. The Mariners get a pick. Obviously that'll get a little screwy with whatever happens with the collective bargaining agreement and the labor stoppage this offseason, but I think that's the direction it goes with Randy. In the meantime, you're getting the absolute best of Randy, and that home run yesterday is huge. Huge. I'm not going to sit here and say Randy Arozarena saved your season, but if he doesn't hit that home run and then Bizzardo gives up the run in the next inning and you end up tied and God knows what happens after that, you end up losing that game at home. I don't even want to think about what we're coming in here to today.
He at least saved the vibes.
He saved the vibes. Now, he maybe has times has hurt the vibes, but yesterday he saved the vibes. Absolutely, Maura. Thank you. Well said. Great. I mean, that's a huge home run from Randy. Huge. And by the way, he absolutely tanked it. What a bomb to left center. Wow. And then the other one says, this conversation needs to be had. It's time for Ferrer to be the closer. Munoz has lost the privilege. I don't think I see that. I'm not saying that there's not a lot of great leverage opportunities for Aaron. What he did again yesterday was awesome. I'm not ready to give up on Munoz, the closer, yet. That's a pretty big decision. Again, I don't think you need a closer. I think you need to have your ace reliever and your lefty and you're this guy and you're that guy. And I'll tell you what I liked yesterday. First time I remember seeing in a while was Brash in the 7th inning against the heart of the order. Yeah, that. Thank you. That's what I've been waiting for. Put your best reliever in there against their best hitters, whether it's the 6th, the 7th, or the 8th, whatever. You got to use them when you need them. That was the best time to use Brash. I thought Dan handled the bullpen perfectly yesterday. If we're going to criticize him for the day before, I'll absolutely say yes, nice job yesterday. That's exactly the way that's supposed to go in a day without Munoz. Well done. Well done. And you come away with, I'm not going to sit here and say a season-saving win. That's kind of absurd on May 20th, 21st. But big win. Big win yesterday. Moore was talking about saving the vibes. That win at least preserves the hope of the vibes, because you lose that one yesterday. You have a 1-5 homestand. Yeah, that's not going to get, and just coming off of the whole piggyback thing. So what are they going to do now? Now they take a day off. They go to Kansas City. What happens next with the piggyback? We got some news there with JP. We've got news there. Actually, we got a lot and need to know. Stick around. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hear that? That's the sound of a car rolling into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. The sound of another savvy driver getting an oil change from trained pros. The sound of not having to leave your car while we quickly change your oil. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, there's no hassle with appointments or dealer wait times. That's one smart bell.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh, seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
My first car sale was from Michigan. I get this lead. This guy had been looking for this very specific truck across the whole U.S., and he's concerned about rust. And I'm like, why don't we FaceTime? I will crawl beneath the truck. I literally was on my back beneath this vehicle, showing him all the welds that he wanted to see. He agreed, put down a deposit, held the truck, flew out that night from Michigan. I picked him up at the airport. He had his cashier's check. We went through everything, and that was my first car sale. So here's the catch. If you're willing to put a limit on what you're willing to do to be a good person, to help somebody out, or to help in the community, then that limit exists. So you don't. You just do what it takes to be the type of person you want to be and to help people like you hope that they would help you. And it doesn't matter. You just do what it takes.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Calling all car enthusiasts. Fuel your weekend at Tacoma Cars and Coffee, hosted at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Cars, community, and fresh coffee for all makes and models. This event is completely free to attend. No RSVP required. Bring your family, bring your friends, and show off your favorite ride. For dates, times, and more, visit americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Evan Cohen here. Game day brings the excitement. Your stay should feel just as memorable. With Marriott Bonvoy, official hotel partner of the NCAA and U.S. Soccer, you're connected to a portfolio of brands designed for how you travel. Some offer complimentary breakfast, others give you room to spread out, space to stay productive, or extended stay comforts. So whether you're a traveling fan or part of the team, Marriott Bonvoy celebrates the moments that live on before and after the game. Marriott Bonvoy, where game day checks in.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Bob Stelton here, and if you've had LASIK or EVO ICL to get out of those glasses and contacts, you know how freeing it was. I had LASIK, but when I got older, I started to need reading glasses to see my phone or a restaurant menu. That's when I went to K2 Vision for refractive lens exchange, and it was a game changer. If you'd like to rid yourself from all glasses, including readers and bifocals, learn about K2 Vision RLE at their free live webinar today at noon. It's a perfect opportunity to meet doctors Kopstein and King and have them answer your questions about K2 Vision RLE, like how is RLE different from LASIK and EVO ICL? Why won't I get cataracts after RLE? How does the light adjustable lens work? And lots more. The light adjustable lens is the premier technology for those who have had LASIK and now want to get rid of reading glasses. Plus, never get a cataract. K2 Vision has done more light adjustable lens procedures than anybody else in the country. Join the free live webinar today at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
You know, sometimes you just got to find a way to win. You just got to find a way, and that can come from anywhere. Yesterday, the Mariners needed that. They needed a win, any opportunity to avoid a 1-5 homestand, had to avoid losing another series, had to turn things around after the weird loss on Tuesday and everything, and all the vibes associated with it. And they did all of those things, mostly thanks to a pair of late home runs. Oh, hold on. We got to get that volume up.
The pitch.
Thank you.
Swung on. Ripped. Left field. It's high. It's deep. It is gone. Johnny Pareda, his first major league home run, and it's given the Mariners a 3-2 lead in the 7th inning.
Anybody else kind of like Johnny Pareda? Not just because of the home run, but anybody else just kind of enjoy the at-bats? Kind of like the way he catches? I'm at least like the smile. I don't know. I'm like just a little intrigued. Doesn't mean I think he's going to be the starting catcher long term, but Lyle, you wrote it. I'm with you. I think there's a conversation when Cal gets back about who sticks around as the backup catcher. It'll probably be Garver because this guy's got options and he's young, and Garver understands the team and the staff and just some of that built-in knowledge. But yeah, a couple more home runs like yesterday, a couple more big hits, a couple more good games. I think the conversation is there. You got to also give a lot of credit to Randy Arozarena yesterday. He put it out of reach just a few minutes later.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on, drilled, left center field. This has a chance. It's on its way. It is into the pen. Goodbye, Randy Arozarena. 2-run home run. The Mariners lead 5-2.
Yeah, that was a big deal, man. Ended up being what they needed, as they did give up one more run, so they hang on to get the win. Matt Brash was excellent. Jose Ferrer, excellent. You get a series win at home. As Dan says after, a big deal.
Really big series win for us right there. I thought today was, a good ball game for us. Emerson did a nice job for the 5 that he was in there. You know, he ran into a little trouble there in the second, but I thought made some good pitches when he had to. It looked like the cutter was a pretty good pitch for him today, and the sweeper again was a good pitch. They just, put some tough at bats, got his pitch count up a little bit, but he was able to hand it over to the bullpen that I thought was very good again today. We covered 4 innings there with the bullpen, and the guys threw the ball well and got us the outs that we needed.
All those things are true. You get back to 3 under, still 2 games behind the A's, who won again last night. Day off today. They will get it going in Kansas City tomorrow.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, I got to tell you, pretty impressed with the decision made by J.P. Crawford. He approached Dan Wilson while his agent spoke to Justin Hollander about J.P. moving to third base. Pretty incredible. He explains some of the thought process.
Just came up in a thought in my head, and I want to be a Mariner for life, and I think that's the best way to do it. And, just always being open to helping the team win.
Want to be a Mariner for life. I think that's the best way to do it. He offered a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. The goal here is to win a World Series and stay here as long as I can. And that's only 2 things on my mind.
Yeah, so he just keeps, I think, coming back to exactly the right type of element. Why are you doing this? I want to be here forever. This is what helps the team. This is what helps us win a World Series. Love the attitude, love the unselfishness, and yeah, there may be some self-preservation there for the long term, but I just, the willingness to come out and say it and not be stubborn, pretty amazing and rare from J.P. Crawford. Great also to see Matt Brash return yesterday. I'll tell you, they've missed all their injured players, but Brash is such a weapon, and deploying him in the 7th inning yesterday, absolutely the right move. On the other hand, and I'll say I still don't love this one, the team is going to try to piggyback once again, this time in Sacramento. Jordan Schusterman was on yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
When Dan Wilson has already exhibited many times over and over some occasional managerial questionable decision-making, when you are adding in this kind of unusual element, you're almost asking for trouble, to be frank. And I know that sounds a little harsh, but that was my thought even before yesterday, which is just you're now asking him to do something that is already unusual for the whole team, let alone something that he's dealt with. And then how it went it's not the only reason they lost, because they got 1 hit and there's other people to blame and there were players to blame for sure as well. But that was not putting your players in position to succeed. You cannot tell me that it was. And that is both, you could argue from the beginning with the plan all along, but I cannot even begin to understand the argument for sending Castillo back out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with him on all of that, and yet they're going to try this again. Hope it works better the next time, but also I hope this is the last time we see it. At the same time, just make Luis a reliever. I'll play you some sound later from Morosi. I think he makes a pretty compelling case. Miller pitched well as a starter. Castillo pitched well as a reliever. Just go down that road.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
What do we sometimes say about the Seahawks and what they did this year in their draft? Just keep it simple, stupid. And you can do the same thing in this Mariner rotation, in this bullpen. Speaking of the Seahawks, assistant GM Nolan Teasley has been requested by the Vikings for 2nd round of their GM interviews. One of 5 candidates to receive a callback. If he does get the job, the Seahawks would receive a 3rd round pick in each of the next 2 drafts due to his minority status. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. 509 says JP is self-aware and egoless, and I love this. 253, 100% agrees with Schusterman. 206, maybe a little jaded. This is the opinion, but I view JP's willingness to move to third more selfish than selfless. He's on an expiring contract, doesn't want to have to fight for a new deal somewhere, and or have someone tell him he's not good anymore. Yeah, I understand it. That's a little jaded. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think there's obviously an element to it. Lyle brought that up earlier. Of course. Yes, absolutely. There's an element of that. But what is there, you prefer the alternative? Run him back out there at shortstop every day when it's pretty clear that's not what's best for the team? Forcing the manager to have to make a difficult conversation. This is absolutely better than that.
Pierzynski yesterday, just even about platoons.
Yeah.
Every guy thinks they can hit every pitcher, the competitiveness level. I don't think a lot of guys have that self-reflection to be like, hey, maybe I'm not the best at this spot.
Or look at this kid. He's unbelievable. Look what he's capable of. Look what he can do that I can't do right now.
Whether other people might be thinking that, I don't think a lot of guys think of themselves that way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it's really well done. Good stuff from J.P. Crawford. Okay, speaking of A.J. Pierzynski, Brock surprised me with a little A.J. interview yesterday, and it turned out to be, of course, really good. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times from our sports teams in town. Talent acquisition, we need it. I'm guessing at IRG, talent acquisition is also key for you?
Absolutely, Brock. Talent acquisition is everything. You know, our strength here at IRG is what I call our human capital. These are the folks that work here at IRG with a passion, with a focus on building great teams, providing great care, and being involved in the community. We want the best and brightest. And if you're looking for an opportunity to be the best and brightest, IRG is the place for you. We will provide mentorship, continuing education, personal and professional growth. We have it all for you. We want the best and brightest.
If you want to be a part of that team, all you got to do is go visit one of their 40 convenient locations. IRG is in your neighborhood. All the details as well, you can find them at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
A rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
A bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, scores to settle, all the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you could win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the whole season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase necessary. See website for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
When you tell someone what team you cheer for, do they apologize? Does your first childhood memory involve crying on a Jumbotron? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected from things like fire damage caused by violently unplugging the TV. Or an accidental overhand left to the drywall. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
With Popeye's new $6 Faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Mariners and Royals tomorrow afternoon in KC. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, ambitious dreams don't need a big payment. Lease the 26 Corolla Gas for just $219 a month, or the Hybrid for $249 a month with only $29.99 due at signing. The Corolla Cross Gas at $269 a month with $29.99 due at signing. Or level up to the Camry at $299 a month with $39.99 due at signing. All 3 leases, 36 months. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaKirkland.com and ToyotaRenton.com. Offers valid through June 1st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, my bad. I screwed up. I can own it. Didn't see Brock's text last night.
It was a barrage. To be
There
fair,
were it was in the middle of a lot of texts.
It was a barrage of texts. It was the
might have
night
been while I
before
was
the first
driving.
football practice of the year.
Yeah.
It's a Mariner game gone wild. It is frustration.
Yep.
There was a lot of.
So I did not realize we were going to talk to AJ Pierzynski right now. That's on. I never saw your text. So I'm going to be completely unprepared for this interview.
Good,
We'll
I'm
see if
ready.
I can come up with anything in the world to ask AJ Pierzynski the day after one of the more bizarre games you'll ever see. I guess I'll have to dig deep, but I'll find a way. He joins us right now from Fox. AJ Pierzynski, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We're frustrated, AJ.
Why?
I think that's. I think that
won.
I think.
You guys should be excited.
There it is. There it is.
There's
the World Series champion White Sox right there. I like it.
This team is 23-27. It's got injuries galore. It finds ways, unfortunately, to lose some games you should not lose. And then last night, I think, was just kind of the tipping point. And Bryce Miller, frankly, walking off that mound, pissed off like a rattlesnake, I think kind of further exasperated that for a lot of folks. What are your eyes seeing from afar of this Seattle Mariners baseball club right now?
Well, I think the injuries are the big thing right now. I'll be honest. I only saw the highlights when I woke up, and y'all play too late. I'm on the East Coast, so
true.
Some 9:45 starts or whatever it is on the West Coast. I mean, not that I love Seattle, but man, that's too late for us old folk over here on the East Coast in Florida. So, when I woke up, my first reaction was, why did Munoz not start the ninth? And then I realized that I guess they were trying to piggyback to get him right, to get Castillo right, which also didn't make sense to me. But again, I'm not Dan Wilson. I didn't understand. So that was my first question is I'm like, when I woke up and I saw the box score, I was like, wait a second. Why did Munoz, who's one of the best closers in baseball, not start the ninth inning? And then I realized, I guess they're trying to get Castillo right. And I was confused by that. I mean, this is a game you're trying to win. Every game matters, and you're not pitching your closer, and you bring him into a situation where all he can do is blow the game. So that was my first question about last night's game. And you guys have to answer that for me, why they did that. I don't know. I'm sure Dan Wilson had a reason for it. And then other than that, it's just so many injuries. I mean, what's funny, though, it's not just the Mariners. It's like every team in baseball is just beat to crap already. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's difference in training, different schedules. I really don't understand why, but it is every team in Major League Baseball is just hammered with injuries. And I don't know how to fix it. I mean, we've had conversations with people. My big thing is no one takes any time off anymore. Brock, when you played, man, after the season, you needed some time off to get your body right and get your mind right. Nobody does it anymore. I mean, guys jump into going to drive line and hitting the minute the season's over. And I don't know how you give your body time to rest and time to get better, but, I mean, that's the thing for me. The Mariners are beat up. They're going to be fine in that division because, honestly, that division's not very good. The Astros are awful. The Angels are worse than the Astros, which is almost hard to say. And the Rangers have been okay. They still can't hit. And then, I mean, the A's are the A's. They're under 500, and they're right at the top of the division or right at 500. So they're going to be fine. But, yeah, for me, it's the injuries.
I love the point. I mean, we could do a whole separate conversation about the working through the off season and not getting, because everyone's in that spot where, well, if I'm not working, somebody else is working, and then I'm not going to be able to do my job as well as them. But ultimately, I
disagree. You might be able to do it actually better because you'll be rested, and they'll most of the time will be injured. That's the thing I don't understand. I mean, I tell people this all the time now, and they kind of laugh at me. And listen, I was different than most people. I wouldn't touch a bat until spring training. I'd go a whole off seasons and not touch a bat. Now I'd throw because I had to get my arm in shape, but I wouldn't touch a bat. My first swing would be in spring training. And now listen, I was making the team, and I knew all that, and that wasn't a big thing. But I needed a break. When I was young, I used to start hitting most guys start hitting right around the first of the year, or they used to. Now they start hitting a week after the season's over. But we used to start hitting around January 1st when I was with the Twins, and I was, a younger guy and just coming up. And by the time spring training rolled around, guess what? I was burnt out. I was like, gosh, I got to do this.
Yeah, it's funny.
4 more weeks now.
It's almost like it's almost like the kids, AJ, who were playing year round, whatever sport it is, right? Instead of going from basketball to baseball to whatever, like it's hey, I play baseball year round, and so that burnout factor then added to it being in the major leagues, like the whole thing is pretty bizarre. Yeah.
But I don't want to get listen, we could have 4 shows about that, but there is a point in a sport, I think, in today's world where you have to go specifically for that sport. I think we do it too young nowadays. Mm-hmm. But hey, who am I to tell someone how to parent? Everyone thinks they're the greatest parent in the world, but we know deep down we're not. We all make mistakes. Parenting is the hardest job you'll ever have. And if you guys have kids, you guys understand that. But yeah, we all have to make decisions, and our kids have to make decisions, but let them ultimately make the decision. If they want to go hit extra, if they want to go or, go play football or whatever it is, you got to let them. You can't push them to what you think they should be because it doesn't work.
I think one of the challenges, AJ Pierzynski here with us, one of the challenges, AJ, beyond the injuries, is what Mike talks about all the time, Salky here, and that's the controllables. Like, you could control who you go to, when you go to them. The execution, that's in the moment. That's on the players. It feels right now, and last night this piggyback was the first time they did it. And they did it because 6 guys, they have 6 starters. So they're trying to keep, I think, both Luis and Bryce stretched out. This is Bryce's second start. He was unbelievable. Had a no-hitter into the 6th inning. He was pissed when he gets pulled. But you got the White Sox best hitter, who's a lefty. So we're going to bring Ferrer in to clean him up. And then Luis is going to get the game. And he's going to get the rest of it until it's a 1-0 game because we have 1 hit again and we can't score runs. And now they get people on base because Luis gets a walk and he hit by pitch. And let's see if Mooney can clean. It just feels like there's a plan on paper. And then all of a sudden it's written in pencil and we're trying to figure it out as we go.
All right. Well, let me ask you all this. If you guys are obviously Mariners fans, and understandable, you guys live in Seattle. I actually love Seattle and the Mariners. I've always been a huge fan of that city. I tell people that's probably one of my favorite road cities and favorite stadium to go to. But as fans, you guys watch this, and this is their plan on paper, right? And as soon as the paper goes wrong, then it's like, wait, what do we do? Which is fine. I understand because they've talked about this plan, and everyone assumes that every day these plans are going to go perfectly. And then all of a sudden they don't go perfectly, and then it's like, what do we do? But as fans, who would you guys rather have starting the 9th inning with a clean inning? And this is not a knock on Castillo at all. Would you rather have Munoz, who's been one of the best closers the last couple of years, or Luis Castillo, who has almost a 7 ERA on the season with a 1-run lead? Who would you guys rather have start the inning?
Well, I think everyone in town has been pretty clear they would rather have Andres Munoz, which is why there's a lot of frustration about this.
But the piggyback was supposed to protect Mooney because he can't pitch every night. He pitched the night before. So the piggyback to have 2 guns and 2 studs is supposed to keep us out of that.
But then you used them anyway.
Yeah, so you used him anyways. Why not have him start the inning clean?
Yeah.
If he's coming in, I mean, he's a closer. Ask most closers. They'd rather come in with a clean inning give me a chance to create my own problems than have to clean up someone else's mess.
Have you ever been around? I'm sorry. Have you ever been around a piggyback? Like, have you ever seen a piggyback at the major league level?
I've seen it, but not I think we did it a couple times just because guys were injured. But then again, if we were trying to win the game and it was a 1-run lead in the ninth, I didn't care. The manager didn't care about the piggyback. He's like, screw this, man. I'm going to win this game. I'm trying to win this game. Let's bring in our closer.
Yeah. Role clarification.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No,
Maybe
I think
I'm way wrong on this.
I don't think so. No, I think everyone agrees with you.
No, I think that's probably a fair deal. And once you went to Ferrer to clean up, the sixth there after Bryce gives up the no, then I think you made that decision, right? Like, this is the way we're going to play this game. And we're not hitting. Go ahead.
Well, no, see, that Brock is where I think that, and I don't want to say you're wrong, but I think that's the wrong way to look at it, because they didn't want Castillo to come into a dirty inning, they call it.
Right.
Yep. So a dirty inning is where a guy comes in and he's a starter. He's been a starter pretty much his whole career. I don't know if he's ever had how many relief appearances in his life he's probably had. Not a lot, because he's always been a starter and he's always been a stud.
Correct.
Right? So he doesn't know how to come into to a dirty inning. So what do you want? You want him to come into a clean inning. So you use Ferrer, and all the teams do this. You use Ferrer to get you out of the dirty inning, and then you bring in Castillo at the start of a clean inning. And then once the clean inning is started and cleaned, or once the dirty inning is cleaned up and you're done, that's usually when teams go to their starter like they did. But then again, if you have a 1-run lead in the ninth, now listen, should Munoz be able to get out of it? Yeah, but it's just, it was one of those things. Maybe he had a bad outing. Whatever had happened. He gave up the runs, and then you lose, and now it makes into something else. But, I mean, I'm just saying as a fan, I'd rather have Munoz start the ninth with a clean, nobody on base, let him figure it out, than have him come in after Castillo's already had put a couple guys on base.
You play for a lot of managers, talking to A.J. Pierzynski. How, and I've asked this of guys before, how much do players think and talk through these decisions that are made by people other than them? Does it affect them? I mean, obviously it affects the wins and losses, but after the game, are players continuing to talk about the decisions that were made, or do they just go back to worrying about their hitting, their fielding, their pitching, whatever?
Oh gosh, no! Are you kidding me? I'm sure Brock, when he played football, there was like, man, if we would have ran one blah blah blah, XY zebra, pull this out, I would have completed a touchdown pass. Instead, we ran a run. I mean, ask the Seahawks if they wish they would have handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch instead of throwing the interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up, Seahawks fans.
Oh, it's over. No, we beat the Patriots in February.
All over.
It's over. We're champs. Yeah,
okay.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but I am a closet Seahawks fan, so that's also Brock. I think you knew that. So
I did.
Players talk about. Are you kidding me? We used to have conversations like openly. We used to sit around and drink beer and talk about it all the time. And sometimes the manager would sit down and talk with us and explain the moves and why they were making them. But for the most part, players talk about it because at the end of the day, every player thinks they're smarter than the manager. Oh, man, we should have done this when you lose a close game. We should have done this. And there's nothing more defeating than losing a game in the ninth inning with your guy, with the 1-run lead. Bryce Miller pitched awesome, right? And you're like, all right, here we go. We're going to win this game 1-0. And then, oh, man, the guy blew it, right? That is the most depleting thing. I don't know how to compare it to what it would be in football. Make a turnover in the 2-minute drill and they kick a late field goal, I guess would be the only thing where you have a lead or something like that. But when you blow that lead in the ninth, man, it is deflating to a team. Now, you bounce back the next day. But for those next couple hours, you're talking about, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do that? Why this? Why that? And it's human nature.
Yeah, and I think for this team, it's exacerbated a little bit, AJ, because there are so many decisions, because they have so many platoons and in platoon situations and guys that hit righties and guys that hit lefties. And when do you go to that platoon? And if we go to it too early, then we're going to get stuck later. And if we don't go to it, are we ever going to get to it? And then we've got, now 6 starters, and how are we going to fold this into the equation? And we've had 2 of our best leverage arms in the bullpen, and Brash and Spire. They're down and have been down for a few weeks. And it just feels like there are so many cards to play. And when there are that many cards to play, how challenging is it on a clubhouse?
I don't know about on a clubhouse. I think it's on the manager. And then the thing is most of the teams, I'll be honest, most teams you see that win. Now, are there exceptions? Yes. But for most teams you see, they play their 9 guys. They play the same 9 guys almost all the time. Now, are there some lefty-righty splits and platoons? Absolutely. There has to be, because there's some guys that just can't do it, but they know that. And then you also know, hey, okay, if this happens, I'm coming in, or if this happens, this guy's coming in to hit for me, or whatever it is, and they know that right away. And most managers, and I'm not saying Dan Wilson doesn't do this, so let's get that out there, but that's just the way they talk to their players, and the players know going into a situation like, hey, I'm not going to be in this situation. Now, that doesn't make people happy. It doesn't make players happy at all. Players think they can hit anybody. And if you're a lefty, you came up hitting lefties in the minor leagues. So you're like, well, I could hit lefties in the minor leagues. Why can't I hit them in the big leagues? Or if you're a righty, you're saying, well, heck, I got to the big leagues by hitting righties and lefties. Now all of a sudden I can't hit them. So it's not like players automatically accept this. They always fight it. It's, again, I hate to keep saying this, but it's like, it's human nature. It's what players, to get to the major league level, to get to the NFL, to get to NBA, whatever sport you want to say, you have to have a certain competitiveness that is hard to match by someone that's never been in that moment. And you believe in your heart of hearts that you can hit anybody and do anything. And it's hard. It's an ego check whenever teams are like, oh, well, you're just going to be a platoon guy. It takes a lot of guys a long time to adjust that. Now, veteran guys handle it better than young guys because they understand it. And most of them have already been through it, and they're getting paid and they understand their role in the major leagues. But there are some young kids that have a hard time with it. And again, it makes it interesting. It makes it a little bit tougher to control it. But, there's also teams that have won with pure platoons. And so there's arguments both ways. But I know as a player, I hated always the platoon thing.
Talking to AJ Pierzynski here for just a few more minutes. Great baseball analyst, former great baseball player, World Series winner. Excited about the big White Sox win last night, as I guess he should be. Just overall, and one of the other reasons we always like talking to you is just as a former catcher and watching what Cal's dealt with so far this year and the core injury. I don't know whether there's like a reason why you would develop a core injury. Do you think it's possible that any of the amount of playing time he had last year and the amount of work that Cal does you talked earlier about injuries. Do you look to maybe reduce some of that workload on Cal when he returns? No, I'm a catcher. I was a catcher. I wanted to play every day. This is just one of those things in sports, oblique injury. But they call it different things now. It used to just be a plain old eye. I pulled my oblique. Now they want to call it all these different names. But I had this the year I was with the Rangers. It just happens. I mean, it's like you can't even explain it. You do all your ab work. You do everything. You think you're in great shape. And then all of a sudden you take one weird swing and, oh, wow, that really hurt. And there's nothing you can do to make it better. Trust me, I tried. I tried to play with it much like Cal did. It didn't get any better. It actually got worse and worse and worse until I got to a point where I told the Rangers, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. And they understood, and they put me on the IL, much like with Cal. No, I don't think listen, you bounce back from this fine. I bounced back from mine just fine. It wasn't like I was out for 2 weeks. He's probably going to be out a little bit longer. I missed my 2 weeks and came back and was just fine. So I don't think this is a lingering thing. It wasn't a workload thing. It was just one of those things that happens to everybody, and not everybody, but it happens to a lot more guys than you think. It's kind of like the hamate bone, right? The hamate bone is the new signature. It was a signature injury in spring training of guys breaking their hamate bone, Lindor and Holiday and Corbin Carroll. So he'll be fine when he comes back. And no, I guarantee when Cal comes back, he's going to want to play more to try to make up for the time he missed.
So you don't ascribe any of the long journey of last year? Any of the load that he had to carry, all that was expected of him. None of that plays into it. Not at all. No, because I know Cal. I know how hard Cal works, and I know that he's in shape. And then they're going to say, "Oh, what about the WBC?" Well, no, it had nothing to do with that. I mean, it just had to do with, he got hurt, and people get hurt. I mean, I thought I was Iron Man, and then I got hurt for the first time, and I'm like, "Dang, this sucks."
It must be. I don't really remember you as a Ranger. That must be why. Like I think of you as
1 year.
All these other places. I would not have.
2013, I'll tell you what. There's two things that people remember from me and the Rangers. One was in Seattle, we turned a 3-6-1 double play, and the umpire thought the first baseman caught the ball, the pitcher caught the ball, and they called a double play. If you haven't seen that, Google it. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Pitcher caught the ball, not the first baseman. They called a double play, and the pitcher wasn't anywhere near the base, but the umpire didn't know. That was amazing. And then Joe Nathan's 300 save. Google that pitch to who was it? Ben Zobrist, and the way we reacted because it wasn't a strike, but the umpire called it a strike was awesome.
Joe Nathan, underrated player. People never talk about Joe Nathan. That guy was filthy.
I know.
He was filthy.
He was great. You know what? He was part of one of the best trades of all time.
Was he part of the AJ Pierzynski to San Francisco trade?
Yes, he was.
I had a feeling. I thought I remembered that he was part of that trade. He went to Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, or Chicago.
No, Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, last thing
Should've
for me,
trusted myself.
AJ. Counsel to Mariner fans, with a team sitting at 4 games under 500, nearly a third of the way through the season, that are losing their minds because the expectations were World Series. Counsel to Mariner fan this morning would be what?
It's a long way to go. There's still 100 and let me see, they're at 50 games. There's 112 games left. They are, let's see here, they are 2 games behind the mighty Athletics. If you would have told them they'd be 2 games back right now with 112 games, if you guys have taken it with the start and with everything that's happened, would you guys say, man, we're in a good spot right now? I think you would. SoCal.
I don't know.
Beat up? No.
Last year, yeah, the year before. But the only reason I would say no is that they really embraced the idea of World Series talk in spring training. They weren't afraid to say it themselves. Manager said it. The players said it. They say, hey, we think that we're a World Series team. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to run away from those expectations. And you can debate whether that was the right way to handle it or not. But if you're going to have those expectations, I think 23 and 27, 2 games behind the A's, I don't think they would have taken that. No.
Okay, now let me ask you another question. If they get out to a 13-2 start on the year, let's go 14-2, so they're 12 games over. Then they go 23 and 27. They're still 8 games over, and they have a 4-game lead. Would you have noticed the 23 and 27?
Probably not. Well, I mean, yes,
Exactly.
but not
So
to the same
everybody
extent.
Calm down. Everybody relax. Everybody, let's calm down a little bit out there. It's a long ways to go. And I don't know where they were in the standings last year. I don't know, but I know they won the division, and then they were real close to going to the ALCS. And, or actually they got to the ALCS, real close to going to the World Series for the first time. So everybody just calm down. They still have a really good team. Let's get everybody back. Let's get the relievers back. Let's get the starting pitching going, and everybody calm down out there. I mean, you guys have still have a really good team, and you're in the right division. If you're in the AL Central or the AL West, calm down. You have a chance.
Are you just trying to go A-Rod? Is that what you tried to just do? R-E-L.
Oh, the other A-Rod. Sorry.
Oh, the other A-Rod. Yeah,
Wait,
Aaron Rodgers.
Wait, A-Rod. Who's A-Rod? Wait, which A-Rod?
Aaron Rodgers had the R-E-L-A-X.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not. I don't. He's wow.
He's wow.
AJ and I have disagreed on a couple of things in the last 20 minutes, but not that. He is definitely wow. That is absolutely the right word for
quarterback.
it. He was.
Great quarterback.
That's for sure. Hey, AJ, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good to catch up with you, and let's do it again soon.
Yeah, you guys too, and relax, Mariners fans.
All right, fun to talk to AJ Pierzynski later this morning. If you like baseball, we've got 2 more baseball guests. We're going to talk to Justin Toole, who is Mariners Director of Player Development. That'll be at 8:30. Want to talk Colt Emerson and kind of the rest of this pipeline, which is starting to really pay dividends. So looking forward to talking to him about his process at 8:30, and then Adam Jude at 9:30. Yeah, I got a text here, 253, saying, Salk, before Luis came back out in the 9th the other night, he had pitched 2 innings. He's basically a reliever now. I think you just don't like the term piggyback. It's semantics. No, that's not it. It's not semantics. A reliever comes in, first of all, prepares to be a reliever. He can come in the middle of an inning. He goes out to the bullpen. He's not like on a regular starter preparation, which is exactly what Luis said he was going to continue to do. No. Also, if he's a reliever, he pitches 1 at the most 2 innings. You're not bringing him back out for a 3rd inning so that he can get his pitches in. You're saying, okay, he pitched 1, great, probably sit him down and go on to the next guy, or you're pitching 2 and then saying, all right, bring in the closer in the 9th, not this sort of oddity.
If you literally look it up, it says both pitchers usually pitch around 60 to 80 pitches.
Of course. And then, I don't know, 253, different 253 says, I have a crush on Salk. No, in 17 years of doing the show, no one's ever said anything like that. So I appreciate it. Thanks, 253. I'll take it. I'll take wherever. Believe me, I'm going to take a photo of this text and send it directly to my wife. She's got to know. She's got to know that I'm out there in the world. I'm sure she'll be very, very protective. She'll be like, yeah, take him. Okay, coming up, Brock is in. I know he's pumped about one huge decision. And then at 7:30, Brock sent me a text last night. It is rare that I've built an entire segment around a picture. that isn't of Russell Wilson, but I'm going to. I'm going to do that at 7:30. Stick around. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grows fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
Woodworker, check. Metalworker or material handler, check. Equipment Sales and Surplus in Auburn offers competitive pricing on leading brands like Jet, Powermatic, Wilton, Bailey, and others. Whether you're a hobbyist or a fabrication shop needing metal forming machines, they have hundreds of machines and accessories. The only dealer offering scratch and dent and discounted items. Check them out in Auburn. EquipmentSalesandSurplus.com. Your go-to for woodworking, metalworking, or material handling. That's EquipmentSalesandSurplus.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Washington is helping men take control of their health with a free, comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value included when starting treatment. Your panel checks key health markers, including testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidneys, liver, and thyroid, so you can finally understand what your body's been trying to tell you. Since 2011, over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Get answers, get a plan, and start feeling better. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free, comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SCHAF.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, scores to settle, all the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you could win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the whole season. Visit PayPal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase necessary. See website for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewert is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to do you a minute.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewert and Mike Salk.
Hello!
Good morning, Brock.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
Oh, man, the ups and downs. The ups and downs of any baseball season are obviously incredible, but this one feels like it's got a lot of ups and downs, right?
Yeah, this one's been chock full of a lot of stuff.
Right.
This has been like a lot of it is, and it really started at the WBC as I was thinking about this last night. It's funny you start there. You and I haven't chatted last night or anything, text a little bit. But, I was trying to think why this one does feel so much more volatile. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's just expectations. Kind of do think. Well, I mean, that is an absolute part of it. I don't think it's in totality.
I think a lot of it's the expectations. I think it's a lot of it is why it feels so intense. Every team, 162 games, the way the baseball there are ups and downs. There are crazy wins, crazy losses. I think you say expectations, or I said it, I guess, but let me clarify. I think it's being close. I think it's feeling like that goal is right in front of you. You got to the ALCS last year. You are so close. And I think that like you can almost touch it. I think that is what makes everything feel so intense. And maybe I'm crazy. I will say, in my life, the biggest ups and downs I've ever witnessed, the biggest, what we're watching now, the most intense I've ever felt about baseball in my life was in the early 2000s when the Red Sox were getting close. And it felt, after 2003, and they had, come so close to beating the Yankees, and they lose in Game 7, and the two teams are poised to go at it again. Baseball felt to me like the most important thing in the entire world. Like nothing could be more important than baseball in that moment. Nothing. It's literally why I ended up quitting my job, moving back to Boston and getting into this business, is because it just felt like it was the most important thing in my world. I couldn't imagine anything. Like the idea of having to stay at work after 3:30 when there was going to be a game at 4 o'clock. Like, how dare you keep me here? I need to get to the bar and watch the game. Like this is more important than work. So eventually I quit, and obviously, now I do what I do, and I'm sorry for that, for all of you. But, I think feeling like it's so close that you could reach out and touch it.
Okay.
I think that is what makes some of these ups and downs feel even more intense than they are.
I think that's probably fair. It'd be hard for me to argue against that. I think in our tenure of doing this, that kind of intensity was probably the climb the Seahawks took. It was probably that 2012, 2013, when Molly would have to say to me, why? And I'm like, because you're not even playing. You have no control over any of this. I understand that. But man, are they close. And they're there, and this team can do it as it kind of climbed up and ultimately got it done there in 13 the first time. So it'd be hard for me to argue that.
All of that said, yesterday's a really big win, right? It's a May 20th win, so I don't want to exaggerate it any more than you want to exaggerate a May 19th loss. But the vibes were real ugly yesterday. They were real bad. Maura said that earlier, and she's absolutely right. And what Pareda and Randy did, and then the bullpen to save everyone from those vibes continuing down a southern track, and instead kind of turning everything around and reminding you what it can look like. And I just thought it was a really big deal. It's a really big win. I think going 1-5 at home would have been a disaster. I think 1-5 at home, coupled with the piggyback, coupled with Cal injured, coupled with Donovan going on the shelf, coupled with, like at some point you're like, I don't know if you can pull out of this. The vibes end up being really ugly. But instead, you get a random home run from a guy who's never hit one before, and you don't expect him to hit too many of them. And then Randy clubs what turns out to be one of the biggest of the season. And instead, you win a series, and you're right back in everything.
Yeah, it's kind of my moniker of just don't get swept. Because when you get swept, it's a bigger and bigger and bigger hole to dig out of, and requires then you sweeping to make real ground instead of just winning series. And to avoid that sweep and get that contribution. And then the story of the game, Salk, and this is probably where I was going with it, beyond the expectations. Why does this feel so volatile? Is there's kind of like real life stuff off the field. Starting in the WBC, right, with Randy and Cal and all of that, the real life injury stuff of not being able to do my job and having to sit and watch, and the challenge that brings, and then ultimately this young whippersnapper that's going to come up, and how are we going to handle all this? Like there's been some stuff on Dan and the organization's plate through 51 games where you can't do what AJ said to us yesterday. Oh, the best teams just play 9 guys and they got their established bullpen role. That's great. Been unable to do that really from the jump of this season. And then, as I said, you throw in like the reality MLB TV and into a few of these, and it kind of can inflame the deal, or it can help really build the deal. And for JP to do what he did yesterday, Salt,
it was pretty huge,
pretty incredible,
very selfless,
very impressive to look at the situation and say, I want to be a Mariner. How can I be a Mariner? It's my last year of my contract. If I'm a B and I'm a pill and I'm toxic, I'm done. Or I can be a great teammate who loves this place, who pays off of all of my words of this place saved my baseball career. I truly want to be a Mariner. I truly love this place. Then walk that talk. And yesterday, post-game, I really believe he did.
Well, I would agree, and we'll play some of the sound again here in Need to Know in a few minutes. I don't know whether it works that way or not. I mean, we'll see what the long-term holds. I mean, you got Brendan Donovan, you got Colt Emerson. Like, I don't know whether JP is a long-term viable option at third base or not. I'm not saying he's not. I just don't know. But I think he's giving everyone an opportunity to see what it looks like, and you do it now while Donovan's hurt, and you can move Colt Emerson to short, which is where he was yesterday. Like, yeah, it's a really wonderful thing, and it just speaks to who JP is. I mentioned it earlier, Brock. It is the polar opposite. The polar opposite. Literally, same exact thing. Shortstop, getting older, doesn't have the same kind of range he used to have. Team has someone else coming up. In this case, they brought them in from the outside who would be a better shortstop, younger, better range, better defender. Do they play third or do they play short? Well, JP is doing it the right way and saying, no, I'm good. I'll move over to third base and make room for the guy who's better at the job. You know who didn't? The greatest captain who ever lived. The great Derek Jeter couldn't be bothered to move over to third base or second to make room for A-Rod. Ridiculous. So kudos to JP for doing what the greatest captain of all time, the captain, Derek Jeter. Kudos to him for doing what Jeter couldn't do. It's amazing. Just amazing.
Do you have that on your bingo card this morning, Maura? Did he at some point, did you think for sure Salk's going to bring it up?
I already brought it up at 6, just so you know.
I should have guessed it, and I didn't, but as soon as he said it, I was like, And I was kind of worried that was going to be the whole rest of the segment.
It might be the whole rest of the show.
Oh, great.
Might be the whole rest of the show. Yeah, there's nothing like a good 25-year vibe, like a 25-year grudge to bring it back up today. But it is true. I mean, the situations are very analogous. Derek Jeter's a horrible defensive shortstop. He was toast. But he refused to move. Oh, he's the captain. I'm too important, whatever. And JP does exactly the opposite. So to bring it back home here to Seattle, what can you do now? The biggest thing they could do is just try to find some level of consistency, and that's what Dan said after the game yesterday.
You know, the priority here is to get us playing our consistent baseball and you know, getting out and feeling like every night, you know, we're putting the ABs up, we're getting the pitching we want and getting into a little bit of a flow and a little bit of a rhythm. And it's nice that we're not, you know, too far back. It's nice that we're not in a big hole, but at the same time, finding some flow there would you know, is kind of on the agenda here, and hopefully on this road trip we gain some momentum from this series here. And you know, the idea is to keep winning series, and you know, that's what we need to start doing.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Again, I'm not going to take – we've seen this and heard that a lot already through 51 games of, yeah, we won this one, and as we get away and it's going to bounce us. No, it doesn't really – especially if an off day and everything else. Like, no, just go about winning series. That, to me, I'll buy into that one right there at the end of it. That's going to be, you know, the key. That's what playoff teams do. That's what this team has done over the last 2 to 3 years when they've gotten hot. They just start to win these series and get some people back, and how great it was to see Brash do his thing yesterday. And
big deal.
And yeah, eventually Cal, and eventually get your pieces back.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a good win for them. Good day. We'll play some of the sound from JP Crawford coming up in a moment. And then in 20 minutes, it is very rare to build an entire segment of this radio show off of one picture. But I think it's worth it when you see the picture. That's coming up in 20 on Brock and Salk.
Big-time swings.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on. Drill.
In big-time moments.
Goodbye, Randy Arozarena.
Big win yesterday.
They've kind of withstood some body blows.
Now, the Mariners hit the road for 3 in KC before a 3-game battle for first place in the West against the A's in Sacramento. Mariners, Royals, tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30.
A happy flight to Kansas City.
Hear every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Mike Salk here, one of 4,000 people here locally that have trusted Eastside Weight Loss Clinic because it's a safe way to lose weight. You probably know somebody else who's done it. Talk to them. Ask them a few questions because they'll tell you probably about what I do and what I did, because I lost 10 pounds in the first week. I lost 35 pounds overall. Why? Because I ate healthy, fresh foods that you buy at the grocery store. You know, according to their recipes, their timing, it all worked. No costly recurring monthly payments for injections, no pills, then reading about scary side effects, none of that. Just a real doctor-developed plan that's very safe and works. Simple as that. 15 minutes, you might spend that long sitting in traffic today, right? Well, why not use that time to schedule a consultation by going to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com, because the only thing you have to lose is the weight itself. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
People can see through if it's not genuine, and it's genuine here. The Johnsons always talk about in orientation meeting, their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business. We're not here to sell cars and work on cars. That's what we do, but it's really about just helping people. Every month we have a new employee orientation meeting, and the Johnsons present. They can't get out to all the stores every day and meet everyone, but at least they get to shake hands with new employees every month in the orientation meeting. And they tell everyone there's not one car deal or one repair order that is worth tarnishing our reputation and ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we perform an 18-point maintenance check with every oil change to help make sure you're good to go.
And?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Huh. Wonder why the dealership isn't that easy.
Well, we'd let you know if we found something in our check.
Oh, great. That was easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, thorough, and honest, come with no charge.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Every family has a story to tell. At Dunn Lumber, ours is about trust. During the Great Depression, trust was hard to come by. People were so skeptical of banks. Customers would stop by the lumberyard, put their money in an envelope, and leave it in this safe. The safe still stands today as a symbol of our most valuable asset, your trust. If there's ever anything we can do to better earn your trust, email me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building trust since 1907.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to find a way to win. You just need a win. And yesterday felt like one of those days, and it could come from anywhere, but you had to avoid a 1-5 homestand. You had to avoid losing another series. You had to turn things around after the oddity of Tuesday night. And guess what? They did all of that, and it started in an unlikely place.
The pitch. Swung on, ripped, left field. It's high, it's deep, it is gone! Johnny Pareda, his first major league home run, and it's given the Mariners a 3-2 lead in the 7th inning.
That was really big and obviously very unexpected, but it doesn't hold up if it's not for this.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on, drilled, left center field. This has a chance. It's on its way. It is into the pen. Goodbye, Randy Arozarena. 2-run home run. The Mariners lead 5-2.
Big exhale. A little bit of margin. Ended up needing all that margin. I don't know if you've looked, Salky, but I believe it's now 7 of 8. Last Bizardo outings
he's not pitched as well.
Been clean.
It's funny too. You watch him and he looks fine.
Right.
Like I'm like, oh, he looks great.
The stuff looks fine.
I know. But
he's
had a couple of
he's
little.
Not had a clean inning. He's had one clean inning in his last 8 appearances.
Well, Brash was phenomenal. It was great to see him back. Ferrer was excellent in the 9th, and you end up getting a series win at home. Really big deal. Dan throwing a lot of credit around, some of it for Randy.
His bag early was big. He ended up scoring on that, and that was clutch. Get us on the board. I think it did look like there was a little bit of fire there after he got hit, but that's we see that from Randy every day, and that AB there in the late in the ball game to hit the homer. great AB, and that came at a really good time for us. And he just continues to swing the bat, and he's doing it all and running the bases well. Playing good outfield. So it's been a really good beginning here for Randy.
When he says you see that every day from Randy, does he mean the fire or getting hit? Because both things seem to be reasonably true. You'd make a pretty good argument. You're 51 games into this season, so almost at the 1/3 mark. If you had to name a first third MVP of the Mariners, probably Randy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Cole Young there for a while, but the last 2.5 weeks have slowed down pretty substantially, at least in the batter's box. What he's done defensively has been tremendous. But
Randy's hitting over 300, which in this day and age is like hitting over 400.
And the defense, as of late, has not been egregious. There was certainly been some moments this year where
he's had some bad moments,
egregious.
But you look at those numbers. I mean. He's probably been their first half MVP. All of the numbers are right either at the top or near the top of the Mariners' stats lists. Pretty impressive and huge deal yesterday to hit that home run. Day off today, and then they will get going in Kansas City tomorrow.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Yeah, J.P. Crawford coming to the team yesterday, approaching Dan Wilson while his agent spoke to Justin Hollander about moving to third base is it's a really cool thing. And Lyle brought up earlier, is there some self-interest there? Yeah, trying to show both the team and the league that he's a third baseman so that he can continue to his career, because probably not going to be a shortstop after this season. Yeah. But doing it in the middle of the season and coming to the team and saying, hey, look, this is pretty simple. I want to help the team win.
Just came up in the thought in my head, and, I want to be a Mariner for life, and I think that's the best way to do it. And, just always being open to helping the team win.
So that, and then Brock even bringing up the World Series.
Yeah, definitely. The goal here is to win a World Series and stay here as long as I can. Yeah, that's only two things on my mind.
Mm-hmm. So the main question that comes up, and when I made this point, Friday night, about bringing the young gun up, it was just kind of time that your eye just kind of sees the lack of just dynamic ability and the ability to cover all the ground you need to at short. It is easier to cover the ground at third, but I think what's come up once or 100 times is does he have enough arm to play third base?
Yep. That's
what does your eye say?
I mean, in theory, if you've got the arm to play shortstop, you got the arm to play third. I mean, it should be a longer throw from shortstop. It's just a different kind of a throw.
Yeah, as Donovan talked to us in the spring about, at second and third, you can get away with three-quarter. You can be under the ball and still get it there, right? But you can't really do that.
I think it's it should be an easier transition than Donovan trying to do it from second. But look, this gets potentially messy. Donovan comes back in a few weeks. Colt Emerson's hitting.
He plays right field.
Okay, and so Rayleigh's not going to play. He's been your best hitter. He's going to play DH. Okay, so Canzone's not going to play? Like, Canzone's been one of your best hitters. Against righties.
Donovan does a whole lot more.
I understand that, but it's a little funky. That's all I'm saying. Okay. It just gets a little funky, and I'm curious to see how it plays its way out at that point. Maybe they'll piggyback them at third. One guy will play 5 innings, the other guy will play 4 innings, and they'll just avoid having to do anything.
Leverage arm.
Maybe you do. That'd be a pretty interesting solution. Also, great to see Matt Brash back yesterday. They've missed all of their injured players, but you just see Brash is just such a weapon, man. Yeah. Bringing him out against the best part of their order in the 7th. I love that. And then what I didn't love was hearing that they're going to try the piggyback again, Brock. Sounds like they're going to do it again. Here's Jordan Schusterman yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
That is frankly disrespectful to Munoz, all things considered, because now you're making it worse for him. And now you've put him in a situation where we're trying to build him back up and have him in situations that he's comfortable with. In a close game like that, that has to take priority. And if Luis Castillo needs to throw another 30 pitches in the bullpen after the game or whatever to keep his routine, so be it. That was just, as far as, Dan Wilson decisions go, that one I just didn't understand at all.
Yeah, that's another element. We didn't bring up the name Munoz yesterday and the impact that it has ultimately on him, too. It's kind of like, remember, we talked about years ago.
You think Munoz would have liked to have come in the save situation yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have. Sure, it really would have.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, we'll see what happens here. But Seahawks assistant GM Nolan Teasley, Brock, requested by the Vikings for second round of their GM interviews, one of 5 candidates who got a call back. So if he does get the job, the Seahawks get 2 third-round picks, one in each of the next 2 drafts, because of his status as a minority.
That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty beneficial.
I'm sure they'd be pretty upset to lose him.
I mean, I think they would, but I think John would say absolutely not. I'm rooting for him. I want him to get this job, as I did Dan Morgan.
But both things can be true at the same time.
They can.
You're rooting for him to get the job, but like, hey, really love having him here.
But unlike a lot of organizations that don't train and develop people, this organization does. And just as Nolan developed all the way through as a scout, as head of scouting, college football, pro side, and assistant GM, like he checks all those boxes and should be a GM. You know, they'll do the same, and I'm sure it'll be an in-house move that somebody will be elevated, and that's the way that John goes about just his belief in the entire team, and he walks, again, that talk, especially within his team on the management side.
All right, there you go. That's everything you need to know a quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show.
I was going to say that's how he toils the soil, but I don't know if that's quite right.
I'm not even sure I know what that means.
Yeah, I didn't just,
Is that like the motions in the lotion, or the lotion's in the motion?
That's why I had the pregnant pause.
Yeah, just kind of wait on that.
Toils and soils.
Toil and trouble. Okay.
So I sent you a picture.
You did. You sent me a picture, which you don't usually do.
No.
You had a very funny line with the picture.
Sure did.
I looked at the picture, I laughed at the line, and then I said, oh my God, this needs to be a segment on the show tomorrow. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Big time swings.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on. Drill.
In big time moments.
Goodbye, Randy Arozarena.
Big win yesterday.
They've kind of withstood some body blows.
Now, the Mariners hit the road for 3 in KC before a 3-game battle for first place in the West against the A's in Sacramento. Mariners, Royals, tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30.
A happy flight to Kansas City.
Hear every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my good friends down there at People Come First. Amazing showroom down in Kent, PCF Construction Group. And if you have been dreaming of a new deck, then you got to get a hold of PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule is totally booked. With a new deck, patio cover, a heater, a fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round. And quite honestly, those are some of my favorite memories when it's howling and it's rainy and we're under the heaters. In particular, remember watching the College for the Army-Navy football game. Just amazing. And you can do that. And you can do it with PCF. And for a limited time, you can get 50% off demo costs. That's right, 50% off your demolition costs up to $5,000. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. So start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they do take a little time. So get the party started today. Get your project ideas. Browse their amazing photos and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ooh.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Rev up family fun this month at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Bring the kids for hands-on learning and creativity at Family Steam Day. Design, build, tinker, and learn together as automobiles come to life in the Education Studio and Family Zone. Visitors under the age of 18 receive free admission on Family Steam Days. For dates, times, and details on these and many more events, visit americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with. Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation. They're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead, explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Mariners and Royals tomorrow afternoon in KC. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Brock sent me this picture last night. I mean, he sent it to the group, Lyle and Maura, but they never weigh in on any of the pictures or any of the texts. It's really
Lyle never weighs in on anything.
It's just a text thread for Brock and I to text each other and Lyle and Maura to see what we're talking about. Right. They're sort of casual observers on our text thread. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, Maura will put in the hey, something for work, but other than that, it's just Brock and I.
I'm working on my actual show email.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, Brock and I, it's fine. We'll just keep texting each other. You guys do your own thing. You're like lurkers on our text thread, which is hilarious.
Especially Lyle.
Anyway, so Brock sends this picture. And I did tweet it out so that you can see what I'm talking about. If you want, you can go to my Twitter at the Mike Salk, and you can see this picture, and it's a little misleading, the picture. There's some depth concerns because it makes Derick Hall look like he is 10 times bigger than Leonard Williams, which is kind of hilarious given how big Leonard Williams is. But if you just look at this picture, they're both walking out there, and Leonard looks great. As always, big smile on his face. The hair looks good, right? He's got the white gloves going. He looks great. Cut tank top deal, like a sweatshirt tank top. It's almost like a Belichick, like a cut hoodie. But he looks good. And next to him is Derick Hall, who looks like I can't even describe. Forget about Brock's comment was, have you seen Derick Hall? And he's absolutely right. Look at this man's arms and shoulders. Look at his upper body, and you know how big the legs are. Look at this
The biggest
man.
arms I've seen in person, I think, was when John Clayton interviewed James Harrison at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And these aren't far behind.
The only problem with the picture is it cuts off before you see his giant knees. But he's huge.
Also, is he in full pants? Because he usually does the practically underwear shorts.
It's hard to tell what he's wearing. I don't know.
I think he's just trying to accentuate the upper body.
Right. He's like, hey, you guys have spent so much time looking at my quads, legs, and knees.
Yes.
By the way, I'm still jacked up top. He looks huge in this picture, doesn't he? He looks like he's 5 times bigger than Leonard Williams, who you know is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
It's even more of a marvel when you learn that he was a premature baby that was so premature. I think he was like a pound. He almost died.
I remember we talked to him about that.
How do you get that big?
It's impossible to imagine. Honestly, it is. Like his knees, I can't even tell you how big this man's knees are. So as you know, I'm a big Derick Hall fan. So I'm looking at this yesterday, Brock, and I think you know exactly where my mind went as soon as you sent this to me.
Of course I did.
Sign this guy.
Yeah.
Sign Derick Hall. I know Spoon's the priority. This is not a sign Hall over Spoon argument, but just make sure. Sign Derick Hall long term. He's entering his age 25 season. He just turned 25 2 months ago. He's not 30. He's not 32. He's not even 28. He's a 25-year-old kid who's an absolute menace on the field. Last year, he did great things. He did. Pass rush win rate, posted a true pass set win rate as high as 27.6%, overall win rate over 20%, placing him among the elite edge rushers and getting past the blocker quickly. Overall defensive grade last year, according to Pro Football Focus, a 73.3. That puts him inside the top 40 among all qualified edge defenders. His run defense, as you know, is great. Again, Pro Football Focus gave him a 73.9, which was in the top 15 for his position. He recorded 41 total pressures, hits, hurries, and sacks, emphasizing his constant disruption in the backfield. That's just a quick Google search.
Mm-hmm.
He fits the profile of what Mike McDonald wants. If they want rugged, Brock, if that was the word we kept talking about, Derick Hall is rugged. You can have conversations about whether or not he is quick enough or finishes well enough or whatever. But is he rugged? Definitively, yes. Derick Hall is rugged. He's the right age. He's only 25. He's demonstrated on the field. I just gave you some of the numbers from last year. He checks the scouting box because you see the Pro Football Focus stuff. He checks the advanced statistical box as you look at pass rush win rate. He plays a premier position as an edge guy. And they don't have any depth at that position anymore because the other 3 guys projected to be on the, in the rotation are all essentially year to year. And then after that, you're going to some undrafted dudes who might have a chance, but have not proven anything on the field yet. Sign this man. What are we talking about? This should be the most obvious signing of all time. Sign Derick Hall to a long-term deal.
Yeah, and I think one of the bigger steps that you kind of leave out there is his maturity in that step between year 2 and year 3. You remember year 2?
Yep.
The old alpha in the room, a time or two, had to get in that guy's face and say enough, to say it nicely, like grow up.
Yeah.
Stop being a fool. Stop hurting our team. Stop being so immature on the field with these ridiculous penalties and late hits and stupid stuff.
It all went away last year.
Emotions hijack you. Yeah.
It all went away.
Yep.
We didn't see any of it. I guess he did have the one game suspension. Did they end up getting rid of that or overruling that suspension?
No.
They said he stepped on the guy. I thought that was the weakest call I've seen.
I thought that was pretty dumb.
Just a lame call. I didn't blame him on that one. I thought that was a terrible call by the league. I think he's a really good player who fits what they need.
Yep, and I think the question becomes now is a starter, and he should be the starter this year. You would think that Uchenna would kind of roll in behind him and D-Law probably on the other side going in, right? But he should be the starter. There's no boy, let's go. This is your starting job. Do you need to see him own that starting job and be that same dominant guy? Can you hit 3rd and 4th in the lineup instead of 6th and 7th in the lineup with help around you and the really ideal situation that I think he and Boye and all that group shared last year?
Yeah, but you're going to end up with more people around him. I mean, you said it yourself, Brock. Next year, there's a whole bunch of DeMarcus Lawrences and Dante Fowlers who are going to hit the market again.
They're still out on the market right now.
Right, so if those guys end up leaving at the end of this year, which is not going to surprise anyone, and put Chet on that list as well. Yep. There are plenty of other veterans to put around him. You already have said you like some of the young guys that are on your squad, and you're going to have about 37 picks in next year's draft. So if you want to find some longer-term, youthful replacements, great. This is one of the most important positions on the field. Sign Derick Hall. Build all those other things. Have one guy that you've chosen and say, okay, this is our guy. This is the guy we're going to bank on. We need one guy. You've said it's not Boye. Fine. You've not spent big money on it or traded for a Max Crosby or Myles Garrett or any of those or a Trey Hendrickson. You've said no to all of those things. Okay, fine. You got to have some sort of a stalwart, something that you can count on in your on your defensive line on the edge. Mm-hmm. So you've chosen Derick Hall. Maybe it was by choice, maybe it was by default, but he's the guy. Sign him. And then you can do all of those other things to build that room around him by drafting some youth, by signing some veteran presence, but make sure he's there at the center point of all of it.
Yeah, and I think some of this...
Right in the prime of his career.
I think there's probably realistically kind of two things going on right now. Number one, Spoon and Spoon's agent in particular, can we get this deal done? Mm-hmm. Let's get this deal done. We got it done with JSN.
So do you need that to happen first?
You need that. Yeah, you do need that first to set the whole budget and to know exactly.
But
what you got
roughly what you're going to pay them.
Roughly,
you know roughly. You know what it's going to be. They already know.
Well, these agents all know, right? They all look at all the different numbers. Okay, so they know that, but once that's then done and established, then it's okay, Derick. What kind of deal are we looking at? I mean, are you going to be realistic? Are you going to be about the 70? Are you going to take a deal that's, favorable for you and for us? Or are you in a spot where you're like, no, man, I watched Boye and I watched our safety, and I'm not doing that.
Well, you should pay him more than Boye. Boye should be the absolute starting point.
I'm going to bet on myself, and if Boye gets 3 for 60, then, yeah, you want to get a deal done?
Okay, but you've got to look at it. You've got to be reasonable as well as the Seahawks. You've got to look at it and say, okay, we let Boye go. We didn't even really make an effort to sign him, but we're telling you, Derick Hall, in this hypothetical, we want to sign you. So you're obviously starting at a point that is at Boye's salary and then going up from there, right? Don't you think? You're saying we like you better. So obviously at that point, you've got to give him at least what Boye got. I'd do that in a flash.
Would you?
Of course you could. You're the one who kept telling me, you and DJ and everybody, the cap goes up, and you can spend a gazillion dollars on Sam Darnold. Well, if you can spend a gazillion dollars on Sam Darnold, trust me, you can spend it on Derick Hall and give him more than they gave Boye Mafe. To me, that is a pretty easy one. It's a premier position. What am I missing?
Yeah, again, you're just going to prioritize. You hate to hear this, and it's not just Byron Murphy or one or the other. It's Byron, it's Sam. It's prioritizing the other guys that are also. Yeah. You're going to want to make sure you get locked up and done.
If you can't do it, if you can't do this and still find a deal for Byron Murphy and still have that conversation about wherever you want to put Sam, then you should not have spent the money you did on a wide receiver and Rashid Shaheed. And I'm just going to look at it and say what we were told at the time, which is by the time these extensions kick in for someone like Derick Hall, for, as you just said, Byron Murphy, that Shaheed's money is maybe off the books, that you're no longer paying Cooper Kupp, that DeMarcus Lawrence is probably retired, that Shenna's probably gone. I mean, Brock, you say you can't pay, but of course you can. All those other guys aren't going to be there, and these are going to be your stalwarts. Yep. So pay Derick Hall, pay Spoon, and pay Byron Murphy.
I truly, truly love Salk, that you are willing to die on those thighs. That you're really willing to die on those
big thighs,
deltoids,
man. It's really more than knees, but yeah.
And it is amazing as I'm looking at this picture, just comparing and contrasting him and Leonard. Leonard kind of got that old man strength. Leonard got that, I've been in the league 10 years, and I don't need to get under the curl bar anymore. I'm going to run my hills. I'm going to push my sleds. I'm going to do my thing so I can be old man football strong guy.
I think he's just farther away from the camera. I think Leonard still looks pretty good.
Leonard looks great, but Leonard does not look like that.
Nobody looks like that. No one looks like Derick Hall does in this picture. He looks like a freak. It's awesome.
These are way worse than my Have You Seen Ken Walker?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it's not as funny. Your Have You Seen Ken Walker? It's funnier. But absolutely, I fully admit it. I am 100% worse.
Yeah, and I think
could look at this picture all day.
One last little tentacle on here to this conversation. Maybe I should be more careful about what pictures I send you.
Don't send me anything like this again.
It's a blessing and a curse. I think it's a blessing and a curse for Boye Mafe, for these edge players, for Derick Hall in particular. A blessing and a curse that Mike McDonald has such an eye for knowing exactly what he wants at that position and what he can get. What he can get out of his personnel, what he can get and how he can craft to play to the strengths. I mean, it is a huge blessing. And was last year in this Super Bowl run. I think I would probably contend of any coach and any scheme and any person getting the most out of their talent. It's hard to argue that group, that Dirty and Mike, did not get the most out of Uchenna Nwosu, DeMarcus Lawrence, Boye Mafe, Derick Hall.
But you got to have the dude. 415 says, all right, Salk, how much? 4 for 100? Okay. That sounds about right. Sure. 5 for 90? I mean, like, I don't know exactly, or 5 for 110. Like, I don't know exactly what that looks like. But sure. I think that's about right. I mean, if they believe, and I think they do believe that he's a better player than Boye Mafe, that he fits their scheme.
I think you looked this up with Boye. Where did Boye's average per year, where did he kind of sit?
Oh, we talked about it.
Yes, it was in the 20s, right? It was not even like top 10 money, I want to say. So you want to pay him in the top 20, the top 50. He's certainly not worthy of top 15.
I mean, those numbers, when you hear them, Brock, are pretty intriguing, right? Top 15 against the run and top 40 overall. All right, yeah, maybe that doesn't mean top 15.
Yeah, I think he's a top. If there's 32 teams, if there's 64 edges, I'm not going to put him in the top 20 as an edge player. Is he in the top 40 of an edge player?
I'm going to put him in the top 30. I'm going to put him in the top 30.
You think he'd be the single best D end on 30 other teams?
No, that's not what that means.
You pay him in the top 30.
That means he'd be the single best team, single best one.
He'd be the best D end on 30 teams.
No.
Out of 32.
No.
No?
Boye Mafe's contract is 22nd among edge rushers in total value.
22nd.
It means that he would be no, it means that if you paid him like number 30,
yes,
it means that 29 teams would have a better number one edge rusher than you.
Yeah.
So yours would be better than 2. That's all. He'd be better than 2. He'd only be better than 2 number 1 rushers at that point.
Oh, I see. If you're number 30. Okay.
Yeah. If he was number 30, it means 29 teams value their top edge guy more than you do.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, yeah, absolutely. I'd pay him in the top 30. Quite frankly, I'd probably pay him in the top 20, 25. And I would think that he's absolutely one of the top 20 or 25 edge guys at that point. And especially in Mike McDonald's system, and especially given all of the other like parts we were just talking about, I'm 100% willing to do it. 100%. Yes. As this 425 says, I'm head over knees over Derick Hall. Let's do some Blue 88.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Heward tackles 3 football questions as only he can. Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, finally, Brock, the point at which Bill Belichick and Kurt Warner come together.
Yes.
2 people with very different stories and very disparate views on the NFL. Where did they align this week?
Yeah, I saw Kurt tweet about this the other day. Bill was doing a podcast, I think it was at Barstool or somewhere, and he was talking about the fact that Tom Brady was a 4th-string quarterback his rookie year. In fact, the great Dane Looker caught his first touchdown pass in a preseason game. In fact, Damon Heward signed with New England to be Drew Bledsoe's backup and then eventually gets beat out by Tom Brady. I don't know who it was that year.
I think it was Rohan Davey.
Ooh, I think that's a good poll. I think that might have been right.
Air Rohan. Riders of Rohan.
And in today's NFL, so he's talking about that. He's talking through it and how just day by day, Tom, tunnel vision, did not care where he was, did not count numbers, did not do anything. And just day by day got better and developed. And by year number 2, When Damon Heward came in and got paid to be the backup, he beat Damon out. And then when Drew went down, he never looked back. And 10 Super Bowls and 7 wins later. Kurt Warner had made the point in listening to that podcast that there might not be any Tom Brady in today's NFL. That there wouldn't have been a Kurt Warner in today's NFL.
Because there's no 3 and 3rd.
Because they don't keep 3 and 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So NFL, why don't you, if that is the position of the biggest need, if there is the most dearth of supply, if development is so hard, if you don't get to practice like you used to and start QB school in early March at a bunch of places, there wouldn't have been a Matt Hasselbeck. There wouldn't have been a lot of guys. Because they needed that time. They needed to be on a practice squad. They needed to develop. They needed those extra reps. They needed NFL Europe for Jake Delhomme and John Kitna and Damon Heward and Kurt Warner. So, hey, NFL, you got all the money in the world. Why don't you just set aside a 3rd roster spot? So instead of 53, there's 54 men on every team because that position needs to develop. You need to keep 3 quarterbacks on your roster.
I mean, don't you think they're saying that with the, I guess they're saying it on game day, but they're not saying it on the 53 man.
That's right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. I like it. Question number 2. All right, so JP selflessly saying, hey, I'm ready to make the move. If it helps the team, I'll move to third base. Who could be the Seahawks equivalent this year? I'm kind of curious. I'm trying to think of who this is in your mind. What Seahawk might be willing to step aside or move to a different position in order to do what's best for the team?
I think it's Cooper Kupp. And whether that is Shaheed in base, whether that is Horton whenever he does come back. And I think he already did some of this last year, and it's in his DNA anyway. He's just going to do whatever it takes for anybody. But you know what? Do I need to be? And I think they can carve out, and he will carve out any role necessary for the team. You need me to be a blocking receiver, right? You need me to, just be a 3rd down receiver. You need me in whatever situation. And oh, by the way, every single day I will coach up this room and empower these guys and do whatever it takes for the team. I think he would be way up on that list as a Seahawk.
That's an interesting one. All right.
The other one, by the way?
Yeah.
I think the other one is Jaron Reed. And likewise, I think he's already doing. Both of those guys are in an age
they'll
and
be
stage
rotational,
of their career.
I guess is what they're saying.
Where it's just like, you know what, B. Murph, more. Go get more.
Yeah.
Go do more. And I will still be the dude, and I will still be the voice, and I will still play whatever role is necessary. And the NFL makes that a little more black and white maybe than baseball does. Just like we know the age and father time, it gets you, it jumps on your back and you're done. It catches you. But I think those would be the 2 that I would point to.
All right, question number 3. Some people out there hoping you were going to say Anthony Bradford.
What's that?
I think there were some people out there hoping you'd say Anthony Bradford.
Yeah, he's just at a very different place in year 4. He's trying to prove he can be a NFL.
Well, Nick Eamon-Warry's coming. Has he been listening to our show?
Dude, did you see that?
I did.
Did I send you that picture too?
Yeah.
So someone tweeted out there, just someone in the Twitter realms and the social realms, who's the Wemby of the NFL? Is there a Wemby of the NFL? And Nick Eamon-Warry just responds and tweets a picture of himself.
I love it. He's a little Wemby-ish, isn't he?
Well, we were chatting about that the other day, right? He's just different. Just to the eye, it's just different. To Kirk Cousins' eye and Phillip Rivers' eye and these guys' eye and Brock Purdy, it's just different. You're not supposed to look like that and move that fast and do those things and cover that amount of ground. When you watch Wemby, and again, watching him last night, not only is his shoe almost the width of the lane, I mean, it's unbelievable. His feet must be 20, and they stand out that much more because he's a stick. He's like 210 pounds at 7'5". Just a spider. He's a human spider. And his arms are 8 foot plus. So just the amount of space he eats, if there is an equivalent, I kind of tip my cap at Nick Eamon-Warry. Defensively, if there's an equivalent, as far as a space eater, and as far as dimensionally not being able to move and supposed to be able to move and eat up space the way he does, it probably is Nick Eamon-Warry.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88.
We played a guy last year in high school, defensive end and edge player. He's actually going to Michigan, big-time recruit. He was a tight end, defensive end, and it was like the first you hear about it, oh, yeah, length. And even when you watch the tape, you're like, wow, that guy is really long. And then on game day, you're like, oh my gosh, well, there goes our jet sweep. Well, there goes our outside run. He's so talented and he's so long that even when blocked, he was 6'7". Like he's just going to stick his arm out. He's just going to impact space differently. And it's why all these, schools that come to any high school, the first thing they look at, especially on edge players, is how long are you? Because that I can work with and that I can develop. And if you don't have it, it's a whole lot harder to play.
Can't imagine what that would be like. Anyway, sign Derick Hall. I'll just keep saying it. And I don't care about any of the haters saying, oh, the pictures about perspective. Yeah, I know. But look at the man. Forget about the perspective. Just look at the man.
So you can say, and I know this is really difficult to say, and this is unfair of me to even ask, but I will do it anyway. No.
All right.
Just back to that, like where would he rank amongst the league and everything else? You're saying he would definitely be the number 2 on all 32 teams.
That's sort of what it says, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't gone through and looked at every team in order to tell you that, but yeah.
I went a few down from Boye Mafe, so around the 25th highest paid edge rusher. You've got Alex Highsmith, who had 9.5 sacks and 50 tackles in 13 games last year. Chase Young, who had 10 sacks and 38 tackles in 12 games last year. They're in that range. And Derick Hall had 2 sacks and 30 tackles.
There's no doubt those numbers are not going to tell you this story. No. I totally get that.
But those numbers are what edge rushers get paid off of it, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not important.
What were Boye's numbers last year?
You know what they used to have in that room, right? Sacks with the starting.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I pay him anyway. I think he's that worth it. I think what he does for your team and your system, setting an edge, like you say, you want rugged defenders. You say you want rugged guys at that position. He's incredible at setting an edge, and he can get to the passer. What am I missing? Yeah, all right. He didn't have the sacks.
He get to the passer?
Huh? Well, this says he can. That he's got the pass rush win rate to get there. So yeah. Absolutely. And Brock, weren't you the one telling me that it's in your second contract where you really start loading up on the sack numbers once you've gotten to that third,
no,
fourth,
that was
fifth
more
year?
of like second, third year. It's like be very careful to judge first year.
I thought it was like, you were judging me because Hendrickson
like year 3
started getting his sacks in the second year of the second deal.
Year 3 of Trey Hendrickson and year 2 and 3.
That's quite what you were saying.
It was
I don't think it was. A little revisionist history, I think. All right, we've got the messages you guys have left, and we're going to play them next on Brock and Salk.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, homeowners out there, are you stuck on that credit card treadmill? Kind of stressed because your consumer debts and your monthly payments are just simply too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution for you. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Toole-M Mortgage to consolidate those high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines, credit and student loans, or simply to get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debts now may be the best decision you ever make. And with excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington State for over 25 years, Tila, they got competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Spelled T-I-L-A. Tila's a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call this morning, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker, MLS 247-2046.
The warm weather has me thinking about summer plans. Stacy here to add one thing to the top of your list. Book a demo and check out the brand new all-electric wake boat from ARC. I got a ride in a brand new ARC Sport, and it was like a luxury EV on the water. Quiet, powerful, easy to operate, and low maintenance. They're doing demos in Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Honestly, if I could drive one of these to work, I would. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it out to Kirkland, they'll pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
If you're building decks in Puget Sound this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite and PVC decking, railing, and lighting, as well as pavers and fencing materials contractors depend on. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. All the best outdoor living products are at Par. Visit par.com to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Calling all car enthusiasts. Fuel your weekend at Tacoma Cars and Coffee, hosted at LeMay, America's Car Museum. Cars, community, and fresh coffee for all makes and models. This event is completely free to attend. No RSVP required. Bring your family, bring your friends, and show off your favorite ride. For dates, times, and more, visit americascarmuseum.org. That's americascarmuseum.org.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Get the freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
Yeah, Justin Toole, who is the Mariners Director of Player Development, going to join us in a half hour at 8:30. So we will talk some baseball with him and hear a little bit more about all of the Mariners' young stars, but certainly Colt Emerson and his journey to making it to the big leagues this week. So that'll come up here at 8:30. Before we do it, hopefully you've got the Seattle Sports app. If you do, you've found a way to put in some messages for us, and you do that, and we call it Here's the Thing.
Brock Heward doesn't just hate one kid.
I am so disappointed in Michael Salk.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're mindless. Love you, bye.
It's time for Brock and Salk's Here's the Thing.
Okay, here's the thing.
All right, we will start off this morning with Sam.
So here's the thing. I think the whole premise of this segment was born from the fact that Salk is such a jerk to the callers when they call in live, that they needed to get listener interaction without Salk yelling at them live. Now it's just a pre-recorded message. And I also couldn't help but notice that Thursday, Friday, while Brock was in studio, Salk was a little bit more angsty, a little bit more fiery.
Yeah.
A little more fiery? Why?
That Friday with the callers, you were just...
I would say, Sam, that's dumb what you just said.
I mean, you don't even remember any of it. So
no, I generally black out during the show. Don't remember anything that happened.
You're more and more like my chemistry teacher my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah, he had no short-term memory.
Yeah. What were you saying?
Man, amazing teacher.
What was that? Who was this?
Did you just snort at me?
A little bit.
Oh.
I had nothing to do with the creation of this segment. It was all Maura. Is that why you created it, Maura?
I guess there was.
Maura just wanted to help pump up the
they
app.
They could have their platform without you cutting them off.
Right. Oh, I can still cut them off. Trust me. All you got to do is press stop.
So here's the thing. I'm Mike Salk. I'm a professional moron. Oh, everyone's happy about something? Colt Emerson's being called up? Oh, wah, I hate it. I'm dumb. But also, I think that we should play Rev Schneider at every position. He should be the ball boy. He should sell peanuts. He should do everything. Oh, I'm dumb.
I thought you said we didn't have a good kicker, Maura. That was a perfect kicker. What are you talking about?
Dude,
I didn't know if you were going to let it play or if you were going to cut him off.
I'm starting when how do I say this? When you've coached and you have a different feel for struggle. You just do. Whether it is coaching Little League baseball team or high school, when somebody is just unable to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob right now, Salk, I feel tremendous empathy. I'm not even mad. It's just empathy.
Well, this has never happened in his career.
No,
he's
and
always been able to hit.
I sent you guys that note.
Yeah, maybe the money is weighing
he's
on
not
him.
a guy that in 7 years had made what he's making this year, ever.
But we saw him go and work hard. I mean, it's not
There's
like that.
None of that. It's actually the opposite. You feel pressure to perform.
Maybe.
I got to earn this.
Well, they got to get that figured out because he is a good hitter who's not showing it at all. They really need him. That's why they gave him some money. Here is...
Lyle just reminded me I'm going to have to break out that Brock talking about coaching ding again. They just started yesterday.
Yeah. I'm
a little buzzer.
When you're a coach, Brock just definitely gave us a little look, guys, he patted us all on the head and we're like, look, when you start to coach, you start to learn some things.
When are you going to jump in and coach, Saul?
When my kid plays a sport that I played, at least.
I watched you on the ice.
Yeah.
There once was a Danish prince whose uncle killed his father and married his mother, and the prince had some tough decisions to make but couldn't commit to a course of action. And in the end, everyone dies. Lyle, Hamlet is a metaphor for the piggyback.
See, that's why you got to learn your Shakespeare.
I appreciate Jessica's dedication to teaching Lyle.
Here's the thing.
What?
Can she just take that and upload it to SparkNotes? Thanks.
I think she just did. She just did that for you. She summarized Hamlet in 18 seconds.
Well, great. Take the Mariners version and upload it to SparkNotes.
There's been a lot of talk recently about the Mariners' record in one-run games because that's the easiest indication we have as to their performance in close games. But I would contend that that's not actually that great of a stat because what does it take to turn a one-run loss into a one-run win? 2 runs. You can't just score 1 extra run and then have it be a win. You'd have to score 2. But at least good on Ferrer today and gave up a home run in the 9th inning so the Mariners could actually win a one-run game. Heaven forbid they actually win a game by 2 runs. So good for him. Now they're 7-12 in one-run games? Nice.
What?
I had to go back and listen to it again. I was like, what?
Spencer, that didn't make any sense.
Play the goat.
What? Here's Ethan, or maybe Ethan.
I know you don't like the NBA, Salk, but you're missing Wembenyama.
I'm all right.
You're missing Wemby. He's generational. He's about 17 of you stacked on each other, Salk. 17 of you. And if you took Brock's foreheads, he's about 34 Brock foreheads. It's crazy.
Wait a minute. Just doing the math there. Are you saying that 2 of Brock's foreheads equals 1 of me?
That's what that math would
That's
say.
quite a statement about both your forehead and my height.
That's both true. I'm not going to send you the video of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that I watched this morning.
Okay.
He fell down on 10 of his shots yesterday.
What do you mean?
Trying to flop on every jump shot. I'm out. It is gross.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the NHL. Oh, wait, no, I didn't.
No, you never did.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't.
Disgusting.
Western
Conference Finals, and you're
No, in the
flopping
NHL
on
playoffs, I saw one
shot.
player stabbing another player in the neck with the end of his stick, and people going, he should get called for being a drama queen.
Right. Yeah, he's being stabbed in the
believe he's
neck
being such
with
a
the butt
sissy
end of
about
a
it.
stick. Yeah, very similar. All right, here's Tim talking Lyle.
Here's the thing, Lyle, you can declare the Mariners season over now. I mean, they got swept in the Vetter Cup, which is way more important than, a World Series trophy? Who cares about that? And Colt Emerson's first home run was clearly not barreled. He's obviously a bust, so we just need to move on now.
Wait,
Was that a barrel?
They played the Vetter Cup? That's weird. Did they play the Cubs already? No, they couldn't have.
No.
They played the Cubs, right? No?
Was Colt's home run a barrel?
I didn't look.
Why not?
I didn't feel like it.
Could you look? Could you check for us?
Do I have the ability to look? Yes, but am I
Lyle's
going
on
to?
one
Oh,
today.
you're just saying no? You're refusing to
Yeah.
check on the barrel?
You know what? I just enjoyed the moment on that one.
You know what somebody is called who makes barrels?
Nope.
A Cooper.
What?
A person who makes barrel maker.
Why did that make you so angry, Lyle?
A barrel maker, the name for that job is a Cooper.
Sure it is.
I mean, it is. I'm telling you, it is. It's a Cooper. A Cooper makes barrels.
Okay.
I like confusing Lyle with knowledge. I like that it makes you mad.
Do you watch Jeopardy with your dad? Because you said he could be on Jeopardy, right? He's tried out.
I mean, I don't know how he hasn't gotten on already. Yeah, he gets everything right.
How do you do on Jeopardy?
I don't try. I never bother to actually intake the questions.
Let's finish it off with Ryan.
Here's the thing. I'm Brock. I'm 50. I'm old. I lost my readers in the yard. Listen up. Age and treachery will overcome youth and skill every day of the week. Salk, you hate soccer. I get it. I do too. But here's a nugget for you. Hockey's worse. Moron, don't listen to Brock's diatribe about digit shaming. Your majestic fingers are epic just the way they are. Lyle, stop the blind reliance on Savant. Stop it. Stop it. Barrel rate, really? Stop it. Watch a game, enjoy it, and just enjoy a game. Moral of the story, stay young and hate hockey. Peace out.
That's a weird one, but thank you, Ryan. That's quite the message for.
I can't even take the compliment on my fingers because his hockey take is trash.
I know, total trash. What did he call it? Digit shaming?
Yeah.
All right, well, there you go. That is another edition of Here's the Thing. All you got to do is download the Seattle Sports app, and you can leave us messages like those, Brock. Just
Solid
like
effort.
those.
Solid effort.
I thought there
Workmanlike.
was some good stuff.
That was a workmanlike.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was some pretty good stuff. in
So
there.
here's the thing. I'm Mike Salk. I'm a professional moron.
It's about as good as it gets.
I thought he was doing a Jim Rome impression.
It sounds a little like one. Yeah, sure. Professional moron, Mike Salk. I might start opening the show that way.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be one of the things you need to know next.
Big time swings.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on. Drill.
And big time moments.
Goodbye, Randy Arozarena.
Big win yesterday.
They've kind of withstood some body blows.
Now, the Mariners hit the road for 3 in KC before a 3-game battle for first place in the West against the A's in Sacramento. Mariners, Royals, tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30.
Happy flight to Kansas City.
Hear every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here, and I'm sure you've heard or thought maybe a little bit about GLP-1 injections if you need to lose some weight. Before you really start on that, you got to ask yourself a few questions. That's what I would do. Are you ready to spend $3,000 to $5,000 every year? Are you ready to stay on the medication long-term to maintain the results? Yeah, those are pretty big questions, right? Because a lot of these prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, And when you stop taking the medication, then you can regain the weight. That's pretty common. Most people don't realize research shows a significant portion of the weight that's lost can come from muscle, and that'll slow down your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder. It's why I talk about Eastside Weight Loss Clinic, because they take a totally different approach. It is all real food that you buy at the grocery store that resets your metabolism, controls hunger and cravings naturally, and helps your body burn fat, not muscle. That's right. It is a doctor-developed program, and with it, you can lose 20, 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to the clinic in Kirkland, or you can do it really from anywhere. They got great remote options. That's how I did it. Go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com, and keep the weight off for good. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Dave Wyman here with an interesting story. A woman was about to donate a box of jewelry, but her friend told her, take it to Bellevue Rare Coins first. She walked out with a check that far exceeded her expectations. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. It's worth finding out what those items are worth during such a strong market. Before you give anything away, get it checked out at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. Go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, D.R. Horton has the right home for the best value. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. When you want your grocery run to go further, there's Chef Store. Find food and supplies in sizes that cut down on extra trips and keep kitchens of any size stocked and ready. Open to the public, no membership required. Discover big savings at your local Chef Store today.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is coming up as the Mariners take on the D-backs. The fun gets started May 29th with 90s Fireworks Night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways with Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jerseys on May 30th and Ken Griffey Jr. pins on May 31st. Both presented by Key Bank. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Mariners and Royals tomorrow afternoon in KC. 4:40 first pitch, 3:30 pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends at Xfinity. Let's say you got a gamer down in the basement, like Titus playing his video games. Maybe a streamer watching shows in the living room like my daughters. A Zoom call for me in the kitchen, and every single one of them is asking you the same question. Why is the Wi-Fi so slow? Well, now imagine Wi-Fi so intelligent it actually heals itself when there's a problem. Wi-Fi that reaches every corner of your home and makes everything in it work together. Imagine fiber-powered reliability. We're talking 99.999%. Imagine Wi-Fi built for speed with everything included, your data, your equipment, the most reliable Wi-Fi, all in one price. And that price, you can lock it in for 5 years. Same price, no contracts, no commitments, and no surprises. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. 5 years of predictability on the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi with our very best equipment. Imagine that. Some restrictions apply. Select plans only. 1-800-XFI and ITY.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Yeah, big win yesterday for the Mariners. Big because it would have been bad if they'd lost, if that makes sense. It's not that they needed a win. They needed not to lose yesterday. And in baseball, the only other option is to win. So they found a way to get it done. Huge home run from Pareda. I think Randy's been the team MVP through the first third of this season, and they needed this one in a big way.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on, drilled, left center field. This has a chance. It's on its way. It is into the pen. Goodbye, Randy Arozarena. 2-run home run. The Mariners lead 5-2.
Brock, I paused to give you some time to reflect on how great Randy is.
It's been awesome, man. There's no debate about it. And I'm not surprised. I believe you were going to get the very best Randy Arozarena this year. He's earned the right to get to free agency next season, and he's not a 20-something. Well, I mean, this is go time.
Mm-hmm.
And you put up numbers and you produce in big-time ways, you get paid big-time dollars in baseball. So he has absolutely done that. The defense, I thought earlier, was at times a struggle. The last couple weeks, I think, has kind of picked up his pace on that side of it as well. But I don't think there is much debate. I mean, who else? Who even is in the debate? Cole Young.
Yeah,
as far as WAR goes, but
yeah.
the last, and as far as situational hitting, but
it's been Randy. He's been the MVP of the first third of this season so far.
Every pitcher in the rotations had some real highlights, couple burps.
There's not one person in the bullpen you would point to. Ferrer certainly starting to make a name for himself, though. Tremendous outing again yesterday. He gets it done. Brash was awesome, his return, and they needed every bit of it. And then, every once in a while, there's a little unsung hero that emerges, and it was Johnny Pareda who hit a big home run out of nowhere.
We've seen him, hit those hard ones to left field without a lot of luck. That one was another hard hit ball to left field, on the line, and a tough lefty, and just a great at bat, and it came at a really good time to kind of give us the lead there late, and that's again You can't say enough about the job he did, especially today with Emerson back there too, and all the bullpen guys that he had, continuing to push the right buttons and swing the bat as well. Big contribution there, and just a great all-around game for Johnny.
And that smile, man. Yeah,
he does have a nice smile, right?
So much.
Just makes him very likable.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Johnny Pareda era. Day off today. They'll be in Kansas City tomorrow.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
We also may be seeing the start of the J.P. Crawford at third base era. He wants to learn how to play third in order to extend his career with the Mariners. Here is what that's going to take.
No, just catch the ball, throw the ball. You're just in a new spot. So, that's really all there is to it.
How much does it help that you have Bone to kind of walk you through all that, too?
Oh, yeah. Bone knows everything. He's been around the game for a while. And if I have any questions, he's the first guy I go to.
Talking there about Perry Hill, their infield coach, who has worked a lot of wonders in his day. But yeah, cool move by JP to say, yeah, look, here's our goal, and here's how I think I can help achieve it.
Yeah, definitely. The goal here is to win a World Series and stay here as long as I can. Yeah, that's only two things on my mind.
Final year of his contract as well, kind of like Randy out there in left field. And the bat's been top 10 as a shortstop in baseball in a number of different areas. The defense and the range, I think you get to this age and stage as a pro, you realize what you are and what you're not. And you stick around and you can continue to play a few more years when you deeply understand that. And how do I minimize the things that I'm not? And I think third base from a range of movement standpoint would check that box. Now, is there enough arm? That will be, I think, the overriding question to evaluate over the weeks ahead.
Yeah, we're going to see what that looks like. Great to see Matt Brash return, mention that. And then it also sounds like they are going to try the piggyback again. This time it's going to be in Sacramento, just to make it a little bit more challenging. Jordan Schusterman on yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
When Dan Wilson has already exhibited many times over and over some occasional managerial questionable decision-making, when you are adding in this kind of unusual element, you're almost asking for trouble, to be frank. And I know that sounds a little harsh, but that was my thought even before yesterday, which is just you're now asking him to do something that is already unusual for the whole team, let alone something that he's dealt with. And then how it went it's not the only reason they lost, because they got one hit and there's other people to blame and there were players to blame for sure as well. But that was not putting your players in position to succeed. You cannot tell me that it was. And that is both, you could argue from the beginning with the plan all along, but I cannot even begin to understand the argument for sending Castillo back out there.
That's some pretty harsh words from a national look at this, don't you think? What? Do we lose Brock? I don't know. Let's move it along.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I can at least tell you that Seahawks assistant GM Nolan Teasley has been requested by the Vikings for a second round of their GM interviews. He's one of 5 candidates to get a call back. If he does get the job, the Seahawks would receive a third-round pick in each of the next 2 drafts, thanks to his status as a minority. That is everything you need to know. And we do that quarter past every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. All right, the best story of the day, of the week, obviously, was not the piggyback. It was seeing Colt Emerson in his first couple of outings and the opportunity to see him hit that home run, which was great. How did he get here? How did he find his way up to the big leagues? And what should we expect next? We'll talk to the Mariners Director of Player Development next on Brock and Salk.
Big time swings.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on, drilled.
In big time moments.
Goodbye, Randy Arozarena.
Big win yesterday.
They've kind of withstood some body blows.
Now, the Mariners hit the road for 3 in KC before a 3-game battle for first place in the West against the A's in Sacramento. Mariners, Royals tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 4:40. Pregame at 3:30.
A happy flight to Kansas City.
Hear every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here from my friends over there at Seastar, who have celebrated 24 years as Bellevue's go-to and mine for fresh seasonal seafood. And what I love is being able to count on my good friend Chef John Howie and his amazing team and their long-standing reputation for excellence behind every plate. I was just there last week. I don't even know how he does it. The cedar plank salmon, there's just nothing like it. And right now, May is about as good as it gets for fresh seafood, whether it's oysters, their sushi, their Dungeness crab bisque. There's a reason my brother went there the next night as well. Generous portions, true value, and delicious beverage pairings as well. The Seastar team, they create that welcoming atmosphere with polished service that turns great meals into lasting conversations. And from the first greeting to the final bite, every detail is cared for and you feel it. And when I'm planning a special dinner with family and friends, colleagues, it's Seastar. It's going to be a bunch of them this summer with a lot of weddings and a lot of entertaining because everybody, when they eat a meal at Seastar, leaves impressed. Right now, pretty amazing deal, too. 3-course dinners in the lounge every night, starting at just $50. Seastar, the dining experience you remember. SeastarRestaurant.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like Pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood, in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Let's talk real for a sec. Summer is supposed to be about sunshine and kids having fun. But when the kids are home all day, that grocery bill, yeah, it grow fast. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping get the word out. If your family qualifies, you can receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer. Food in your cart and a little less pressure on that budget. And let me be clear about this. There's no catch, no judgment. This program is simply about making sure kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card may already be headed to your mailbox. But some families do need to apply depending on income and where you live. So take a couple minutes and check. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway, looking out for your family this summer. Once again, that's freesummermeals.org.
Summer starts at Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland. Adventure in the 26 Tacoma TRD Sport, leasing at $399 a month with $1,000 TFS cash. Earn $3,000 in customer cash on the Tundra, leasing at $469 a month, and the 4Runner at $369 a month. All leases, 36 months, $39.99 due at signing. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through June 1st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KRS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar, never learn to play it, but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, as we continue on here, Brock and Salk Show, and Brock with the big news earlier this week with Colt Emerson, and then obviously the great at-bats and the home run. Who better to talk to about it than the Mariners Director of Player Development? That is Justin Toole, and he joins us right now. Good morning, Justin. How are you?
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing great, and really appreciate you taking some time. We do want to talk about Colt and a couple other guys, I think, coming through this organization and through the system as well. But let's start with the guy who hit that home run. What have you seen on what has been actually a pretty short journey through the minor leagues for Colt Emerson?
Yeah, what a cool moment for him and his family. Obviously, with getting him up from Tacoma the day before, tough for his family to get up there, so it's cool for everybody to be there for that. But he's a guy we loved out of the draft. It was actually my first year over here in the org, 2023, and it feels like yesterday you're sitting in the suite at Lumen and for the draft, and you make the pick, and then you open up the suite and you go outside and you hear the crowd just cheer for him as the pick. And he from day one, it's been leadership, it's been hard work, it's been grit. He's an unbelievable teammate with the tools on the field. So everything that you hoped you'd see from him once he got into the organization, he's probably surpassed that throughout his journey through the minor leagues. So pumped and excited for him to get the opportunity in the major leagues. And what you've seen from him so far, the grindy at bats, the really good defense, those are the things you'll continue to see here in the weeks to come.
And your Justin counterpart, Justin Hollander, joined us early in the week, Mr. Toole, and he said it was basically your call. He said basically Justin Toole just makes those decisions of when these prospects are ready. Is that right?
You just say Justin made the call, and then it's easy to figure those things out. But no, I look at my job as trying to get our guys ready and, trying to get our minor league players as good as we possibly can so that, you have to make decisions. And, there's never a bad thing as having too many really good players throughout the course of the system. And so that's what our minor league group prides itself in being able to do, is getting guys ready, as fast as we can. We're obviously trying not to rush guys, but at the same time, trying to find that sweet spot of how can we challenge guys? How can we get them to embrace the challenge, and how can we continue to make them, get better? And Colt's an easy one. Just, like I talked about before, he's got so many intangibles from, off the field and makeup, and then you see what he does on the field. It's fun to push guys like that, and the rest of the organization feeds off it as well.
So how do you quote unquote know when they're ready?
$1 million question right there. I think we're always trying to find that sweet spot of how can we push them? How can we equip them with, failure strategies? Baseball's a game of failure. You're going to fail at the plate often, just with the nature of the game, how good pitching is, things like that. So with our hitters, you're constantly trying to find what's the right level to get them at to, get them experience with better pitching, faster pace, little things like that we try to equip our guys with as much as we can. But ultimately, you got to put them out there and let them do it in those types of environments. And same thing on the pitching side. You're trying to get the guys out there in front of the best hitters, in front of tougher environments, so that they get acclimated when, you send them up to Seattle and there's another deck and a lot more fans in the stands. It's something you don't really know until you get there, and we do everything we can to try to find those sweet spots. And there's not really a science behind it, but again, we our acquisitions group does such a good job of bringing in good people that, can handle those types of things. So it makes our job fun.
It seems like such a crazy balance. I remember the first person who ever told me about failure in baseball was Mike Hazen, who's obviously now a GM, but at the time he was running the Red Sox farm system. And he really explained to me how important it was to see guys fail. And obviously you just brought that up as well. How do you balance that with the need for them to also have confidence? Because it's really hard to play this game without confidence. How do you go about giving guys both of those two things at the same time?
Yeah, another delicate balance. And, everything that we do on the minor league side, obviously on the major league side as well, mental skills is a big part of what we do. And I think we try to preach process. I think, over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, we've put together what we feel like is a pretty good process that's going to ultimately lead to wins and performance on the field. And I think our player development group does such a good job of preaching the process. And I think baseball is unique in a lot of ways, just because the season is so long. You play so many games, you play each and every day. It's easy to, have a bad day and dwell on what happened yesterday. And you got to find a way to turn the page and, prepare for what's coming the next day. So trying to balance those two things of learning from what happened and then getting excited and prepared for what's coming next. It's definitely a balance. But again, our acquisitions group, whether it's the amateur draft, international signs, trades throughout the course of the season, we do a really good job of trying to dig on the makeup and the type of person and the type of people we're bringing in. And, grit and hard work and, not being afraid to embrace challenge is something that we really pride ourselves on, finding the right people that can do that. And, putting those in that environment with other really good players. It's a lot of fun on the backfield to see those things happen.
So were there some moments with Colt specifically, and we'll get to some of the other guys here as well, but were there some moments with Colt specifically that stand out on either side of that ledger, either some moments where he had to deal with failure or a moment where you could see his confidence really kind of start to soar? Were there moments with Colt that stand out along the way?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot. I think one of the first things sitting in the draft meetings before the draft, a lot of our scouts and our staff is out talking to, various players, whether it's high school, college, different amateurs. And I think one of the cool questions we asked a lot of the players, and Colt was well known on the amateur circuit for a lot of the things he did with Team USA and things like that. So a pretty well-known player in that circle. And asking a lot of players the question of, if we don't draft you, who should we take? Colt was a guy that was unanimously talked about amongst his peers. And so for me, I thought that was a pretty cool moment of like, that stood out to me in the draft process. It's like, man, I would love to try to get this guy into our system. Obviously, we were able to do that, and he hit the ground running. And you just see when he steps in the clubhouse, he steps on the field, he turns up the level of intensity, whether it's the drill work, the ground balls, the BP, just being a teammate. I mean, he loves the game. He's a gym rat. And, I think one of the biggest things that stands out from a playing perspective in our organization was last year when he got up to AAA, last week of the season, and just how quickly the group in AAA noticed his intangibles, noticed his skill, what he was able to do. Hit a home run. I think it was in his second game up there, and it was just kind of like, man, this guy's got a lot of things that you get really excited about. So putting all that together and seeing him in the big leagues this past week has been a lot of fun.
Justin, your psychology degree from the University of Iowa benefit you more in your old playing days or now in the role you're in with the Mariners?
So I used it as a player because I wasn't very good. So I felt like, what can I do to, help me as a player that didn't necessarily have a ton of tools? And one of the things that I saw as a player was how much it helped me. Getting into coaching, I look at it as, how can I use that information to, help our players who are much more talented than I ever was, just knowing personally the impact that it's had. And again, like I mentioned, our system does a good job of intertwining those types of things. I think, we talk about the failure strategies and getting people ready for, the tough times that the game of baseball brings. A lot of times people try to avoid the tough times. And I think in baseball, you have to prepare because they're coming. When you're struggling, things aren't going as well. When you're prepared and knowing, hey, I've got a way to get through this, it's such a big advantage. And that's something that we've tried to use for our group. And, not being very good myself, I had a lot of those struggles. So trying to find ways to get through those, it's something that I appreciate as a coach.
And yet you wrote a book, right? Playing 9 positions in a game, Jose Oquendo style. I'm impressed.
Absolutely. Well, again, it goes back to not being good enough to play one position. So giving guys days off and bouncing around and doing those types of things, that was my way of trying to do it. But it was a lot of fun for sure.
Well, and I feel bad I haven't read the book yet because I just found out about it last night. I just found out about it last night. I'm now going to read. All right.
Read the whole thing.
Did you consult Jose Oquendo, who did that for the Cardinals? Did you talk to him?
I did not. It was kind of a cool thing where jokingly at the beginning of the season, we had a new manager that year, and trying to provide value for the organization and the group, I said, I can play everywhere. Wherever you need me, I can play. And after a couple games of bouncing around, he's like, oh, like you weren't joking. He's like, at the end of the year, we're going to do this. You're going to play all 9. And I was like,
awesome.
All right, see if it happens, assuming he was going to forget about it in about 12 minutes. But it actually happened, and it was a lot of fun. So something that I definitely was proud of. And, being a grinder and a guy that bounced around the minor leagues, it's kind of a cool story to look back on.
What are we learning this year about the 2 stud pitchers, Kate Anderson and Ryan Sloan? What have we seen through the first month and a half of the year?
Yeah, they're, again, trying to find a sweet spot of how can we, push guys and challenge them while also having them be successful and build the confidence. Those 2 guys have been inseparable throughout Shove Camp in January. Those guys showed up early to get ready to go with our pitching group. Cade's obviously hit the ground running with what you've seen from him. Obviously, his background in the SEC has faced some pretty good competition, and I think it's 51 walks or 51 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's been outstanding, and then Sloan's just tagging along right with him. I think the thing that's exciting for me is he's continually gotten better since that first outing at the beginning of the year. And again, that's the sweet spot for us that we felt like was really going to push him to help him and get him over the edge. And, he's responded really, really well with it. So really excited about both those guys. They've got tremendous stuff. Both do things a little bit different way, but, exciting to add those guys to the group of starting pitchers we have in the org.
Justin, as you live it and breathe it every single day, what do you think is, or are a couple of maybe the biggest misperceptions of those of us as fans and those of us on the outside of just the day-to-day front office business that you're a part of?
Yeah, I think there's so many different things that go into it. And I think, in my role, a lot of my nights are watching our minor league group, making sure, our minor league rosters are in a good spot, our development plans are in place, what we're seeing on the field are the things that we want them to see. And I think probably the biggest thing is it's just such a big process. We talked about it a little bit before of trying to trust the process. When things go well, awesome, trust the process. When things aren't going quite as well, awesome, trust the process. And I think the best organizations are the ones that continue to do that and, not just react to a little thing here, a little thing there. And again, we've got a lot of really, really good players and really good staff members throughout the minor leagues, which makes it fun for us to watch those players and do those things. So I'd say the biggest thing is just how big of a process it actually is. Getting a guy in the draft or acquiring him in the international signing period, getting him acclimated in the org, getting him through the org, getting him up to the big leagues. I mean, it's so many people are involved. It's, a huge family type of environment. So I'd say that those are probably the things that I love the most, that you don't really realize that until you're in it.
Talking to Justin Toole, who's the director of player development for the Mariners, essentially running the farm system. If you were, we'll go off the board here for a little bit. If somebody gave you all-powerful commissioner status for all of youth baseball, Little League up through high school, what changes would you make?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the biggest thing that I've experienced, my dad was my high school coach, come from a family of teachers, have two young boys, one's 5, one's 3. I think the thing that I love, and I hear a lot of people that I've been around talk about, is just playing multiple sports. Finding different ways for your body to move, finding different ways to encourage, young kids to get out and play. And I think, we talk a lot about mechanics and movement and do this and do that. And I think a lot of times you lose the let kids play, let them figure it out, go out and have fun. Those are the types of things that I value just from being around the game for as long as I have. And I think if anything, and it's not necessarily baseball specific, but, getting back to letting kids play in terms of just, figuring things out, not worrying about the mechanics of this, mechanics of that. Multiple sports, I think, is awesome. The more you can move in different ways, the more you can, handle adversity and go through failures and things. Like sports teaches you so much at a young age. So if there's anything, I'd say just playing as many sports is something that I think is really important for young kids.
It's so hard, man, because you're right. And I think there's so many people that give that answer, and for good reason. Brock and I talk about it all the time. I was even telling my almost 12-year-old about it the other day, and how if she played a little bit more baseball, it actually might have helped her with a hockey decision or something she was doing the other day. But in the world we live in, as a parent, like, it's great to say that, but then each sport says, okay, well, you've got to be here for this travel team and these 5 practices a week, and you can't be on another team, and then you can't do it. And then the kid who does spend more time on it makes the upper level team, and your kid doesn't make it. So what do you tell parents as they're trying to navigate that, and they want their kid, maybe not necessarily to make the pros, but to have a lot of long-term success in whatever game it is? What do you tell them from your perspective?
That's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up. I think for me, it's just having the patience of doing the things you want to do. And then going back to the book that you talked about before, the whole reason that kind of came about was it was towards the end of my playing career, was giving a lot of lessons and doing stuff with kids. And, a lot of parents would come in and say, my kid really wants to play college baseball, but, I don't think he's good enough. I don't think that's a good dream or a good goal for him. And there's so many players that I've been around, whether it's coaching, whether it's playing with, that, weren't the best players on their high school team, maybe got cut from their high school teams early on, that go to a community college, that are late bloomers, that are those types of things. There's such a different, time period, and everybody develops differently, that if there's something that you want to do, it might not be happening right then and there, but if you continue to work and do the right things and go about things the right way, there'll be opportunities that come up. And like you mentioned, it might not be a D1, it might be a D2, it might be a D3, it might be a junior college, whatever. But there's definitely opportunities that come up. And I think the biggest thing would just be remembering that everybody develops at their own rate. And that's the fun part of my job, is seeing different guys that, have gone through our system. And you're seeing it at the major league level with guys like Cole and guys like Emerson, that are going out there and developing at the major league level, that are doing things that they haven't done in the minor league. So again, it's easy to sit here and say, oh yeah, those kids were always the best players and this and that. And it's like, they're still continuing to find ways to get better and develop. So for young kids and families out there, it's a process. It takes a while. If they're not the best player at 8, maybe they will be at 10 or 12 or 14. Just keep going after it and keep finding ways to let them chase what they love to do.
Justin, speaking of trusting the process through success and trusting it through some adversity, right now, Felnine Celestine is 4 games away from breaking the single A all-time hitting streak in a number of games. He's at 24, so he's 4 games away from it.
Yeah.
How do you evaluate when he's like, Everett and single A, I'm pretty good. Let me get up to Arkansas. What goes into those decisions?
Yeah, he's a great example of a young guy that has battled some injuries when we got him his first couple of years, and last year was healthy for his first full season, and he's a guy that is doing a lot of the things that we've hoped that he's been able to do. We've been able to see that these last few weeks. So, again, finding ways to, hey, he's shown what he's able to do, continue to find ways to keep doing that. I think that's a lot of fun for the player development group. And our group was joking the other day. We felt like he's been an automatic hit here in May, which has been a lot of fun. But his defense has been good. He's doing a lot of really good things at the plate. So continuing to give him the confidence of, you're doing a lot of great things. It's a lot of fun to watch. Keep on that track and, keep track of what that feels like, what your routines are, the things that are going on in the box, your plan and approach. Those are the things that have been really fun to watch him with this year.
Just how high is the ceiling for Felding Celestine?
I mean, he's got some ridiculous tools. He might be, the guy in our organization that has the most tools just in terms of the power and the defense and the whole package of what he's able to do. So, again, the injuries had slowed him down a little bit, but it's been great to see him off, to such a good start. And the cool thing for us is, he's obviously a switch hitter and, had a lot of success, with both sides this year, which has been something that hasn't necessarily been what we've seen in the past. So the ceiling's definitely high. He's definitely got a lot of tools, very highly regarded when we got him in the international signing period. So definitely really excited for everything to be clicking for him right now.
The only concern that anybody brought up about the Colt Emerson, and this was on the other side of trusting the process, was the strikeout rate at the AAA level. He'd been a bat-to-ball guy every level, amateur, through the system, and that strikeout rate was up. And Salk and I have had a conversation, and maybe yesterday, maybe a few strikeout, whatever. But just looking at his approach, it's just like, I don't understand that one. Talk to me about maybe that strikeout rate and the numbers there, and kind of projecting it now at the big league level.
Yeah. I think with him, obviously he loves to win. He loves to, challenge himself. And I think sometimes when you do those things, your plan and approach gets away from you a little bit. And the conversations we've had with him, like, he's been so good throughout his entire career of, controlling the zone and swinging at really good pitches. And when he's doing that, he's at his best. And it's easy to, lose track of that throughout the course of, your not only your career, but just bits of the season and things like that. So, it's something that obviously we've talked about, something that we've worked through, but I don't think it's anything that, is too concerning moving forward. And I think the thing that we're excited about with Colt is anything that he's ever, if he's had a period where he struggled or had a period where he wasn't performing up to his standards, which are incredibly high, he's been able to, sit down, talk to our coaches. He's extremely coachable. I think that's what's really exciting is, like, when you see those types of things, if there is a person, that can fight through it and find a way to, get where they need to go, it's him. So obviously there's always things everybody can work on, and that's something that we've talked with him about, but, something we're excited for him to continue to develop and work through moving forward.
So are we a Hawkeye football fan too?
Oh, we are. I saw they're coming out. They're coming out to Washington on a Friday night. I saw that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know anything about this Bo Stevens guy? Speaking of players,
that's pretty specific.
I can't say.
He's our 5th round pick.
He's a left guard.
Have you studied the left guard and the right guard at all in his zone blocking? I'm just throwing it out there.
Because it's not like you got anything else to do in your job.
We're really good at punting. There
you go.
Okay, no better question.
Special teams. So
greatest Hawkeye athlete of all time. Justin Toole's favorite Hawkeye athlete of all time.
Kind of growing up in my, the two that stand out for me, and obviously the football guys, but Tim Dwight was one that growing up, unbelievable athlete, could fly, played in the league for a while. And then I got to throw Bob Sanders out there just because I don't know if anybody could hit anybody harder than Bob could hit people on the football field. So those are two guys that I kind of grew up in watching when I was younger. So
I'm gonna go with Jess Settles on that.
I'm going to go Caitlin Clark on that. I'm going to go Caitlin
Clark turned out to be pretty good. Actually, you're probably going to go with Caitlin. Yeah, she's going to take it over Jess Settles.
I'm going to go Justin Toole.
All right. Last question, then we'll let you be on your way. Give us one player in the organization that you want to brag about today. One player who's not in the majors yet that you want to brag about.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I would love to probably mention about 6 or 7 people, but I think the one guy, Brock Moore, he's a reliever in Everett right now. Got him in the draft a couple years ago. Throws really hard. He's hit 100 at 101. He's got 15 innings pitched. He's got 30 strikeouts. He's got 3 walks. Stuff has been really, really, really good. he's taken a huge step forward. And I think he's a guy that deserves some attention and some notoriety for just the adjustments that he's made. And he was our minor league pitcher of the month, reliever of the month, I think, in April. So he's a guy that I'll throw out there that's been really, really good to start the year, and definitely want to give him his praise that he's earned.
Pretty cool. Justin, this was great. Thanks for doing this with us. Really appreciate it. It's great to learn a little bit more about you and your journey and what you're doing, and then, of course, what the kids in the org are doing as well. So thanks so much, and let's make sure we talk again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's always fun to talk about our people, so appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. There's Justin Toole, Director of Player Development for the Mariners. And, some really good stories in there about kind of where the team is at. I love the story about Colt, and he was the guy who came up from all of his peers. I thought that was pretty cool. We just have a minute or so here, Brock, and I saw something yesterday that I just wanted to bring up. Actually, I think I saw it 2 days ago, but I wanted to bring it up. We never got to it yesterday. Have you seen the thing the Mariners are doing with the recess takeover? Have you? Has this come across your? So I saw the Mariners tweeted about it on the 19th. So what's that? 2 days ago? That was Tuesday. Another successful recess takeover. Today, we visited a pair of local elementary schools to put a spotlight on active play, learning, and connection. Thanks to Microsoft, each school will receive a $10,000 grant to support physical activity resources, playground equipment, and other needs. And so, obviously, there's a nice charitable element to this, but the pictures are awesome. It's like Connor Joe, and I can't tell who the pitcher is in this picture because it's too far away, but like a bunch of the guys just out playing with the kids.
Was there too.
Who was there?
Humpy.
Oh, as he should be. But, like, it just looks awesome. They just show up at recess and start playing with the kids. Like, it's so awesome.
Fun. I was just in, last week at that speaking deal, and it was right next to, at Pioneer Pavilion, right next to Meeker Elementary. And I drove by, actually, the kids at recess. And I was like, it was right there. Right there, man. I can remember kickball. I can remember dunk that, they had like a 7-foot little dunk hoop. I mean, I just remember out there playing, of course, and how important that is.
Oh, I mean, who doesn't, right? Like, recess is the greatest time of your life. Lyle waited for it all day, even in high school. In college, he was like, when's recess? No, I mean, like, it's a big thing. I remember every...
You loved recess, didn't you, Lyle? You dominated recess.
I mean, it was my favorite subject in school.
I loved recess, too, and I liked school, and I still loved recess and everything that we would do. So, I don't know, I just thought it was a cool thing. Seeing the Mariners get out there and just, you should see the picture of Connor Joe. Just the look on his face as he's...
joy, right?
Huge joy. He's a cool-looking dude to begin with, but he's, like, slapping five with a couple kids, and the smile on his face just kind of makes the whole thing. It's really, really cool.
My takeaway from Justin is the more Brocks, the better.
Yeah.
We got Brock Rodden up there at AAA. We got now Brock Moore down there in Everett. Just trap more Brocks.
Yeah.
I think that's the moral of that story.
Yeah, I think that's probably the direction.
What you're hearing,
yeah, I think that's probably the direction they're going to go moving forward.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Here, and I've been telling you week after week here about my good friends at PCF Construction Group. That's not just an acronym, it's something they live by. People come first, you come first. And if you have been dreaming of a new deck, you've got to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule is all filled up. With a new deck, a patio cover, a heater, and a fireplace, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round, not just in the great weather that comes this time of year, but all season long. And for a limited time, get 50% off your demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project right now with PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and Molly, she's an interior designer. She knew what she wanted, and they delivered. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they do take a little time. So get that process started today. Get your project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details, like $5,000 off your demo costs at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security.
For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 40% off installation or 0% financing for 60 months with equal payments. And we're giving back with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Rising blast, left field, grand slam, Rosarena!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a truly elevated experience, you've got to be in a Mariner Suite. A suite is the perfect spot to get your game and celebration on. Birthday, promotion, engagement, company team building that actually team builds. No matter your event, we've got a suite you'll love. Group suites can fit 30 to 400 people for big-time bashes. And private suites offer just that, an upscale experience for more intimate gatherings. All Mariner Suites offer an incredible view of the ballpark, so you can't go wrong. Plus, you and your guests will enjoy premium catering, VIP parking, private Skybridge entry, and more. And season ticket members get 15% off. Reserve your suite today at mariners.com/suites.
Bases clearing, 3-run double by Josh Naylor. Holy smokes, the Mariners have the lead.
Mariners baseball, Trident's up.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton, ambitious dreams don't need a big payment. Lease the 26 Corolla Gas for just $219 a month or the hybrid for $249 a month with only $29.99 due at signing. The Corolla Cross Gas at $269 a month with $29.99 due at signing. Or level up to the Camry at $299 a month with $39.99 due at signing. All 3 leases, 36 months. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaKirkland.com and ToyotaofRenton.com. Offers valid through June 1st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
Give me a freaking auto! From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cap there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
You're shaking your head at the fact that I silenced G. Scott for
never happened before.
15 seconds.
That was awesome.
Silenced.
He gave a Mike McDonald pause right there. G will be in tomorrow, I'm sure. All right, so we're going to talk to Adam Jude in a half hour and get back to baseball. Then great conversation with Justin Toole. Look, we got a couple of minutes here. Can you help me with the whole youth sports thing? because we're going through it a little bit.
You're living it, Salk.
A little bit. And I will say hockey is a little different from some of those other sports because in some ways it's sort of learning two sports at the same time. Like I could make you an argument that playing hockey is kind of doing two sports because you got to learn all the skating stuff and then you got to learn all the hockey stuff. And you almost need double the time to learn all of it that you would in other sports. So maybe we're in kind of a weird spot. But I do think that question, and you and I texted a little bit about this, and I may want to dig into it a little bit more deeply. There are some people in Congress right now who are looking to take private equity out of youth sports and trying to stand up for parents and some of the hidden fees and some of the things that have been done to make you stay at different hotels and all that stuff. So there is a movement afoot of parents that are frustrated, right? And if you listen to the show, if you're a parent, there's a decent chance that you're a little frustrated with something happening in your youth sports world. I think we all are. We've run into good people. We've run into bad people, good situations, bad situations. But at the heart of it is that exact debate that we just had with Justin Toole of him saying, play multiple sports. Great. Okay, I agree with you. Brock agrees with you. Everyone agrees. The best thing to do would be to play multiple sports, except for the coach of each team who wants you to play for their team and wants you to have the skills of a player that's playing essentially year-round, because the moment somebody next door, and you're keeping up with the Joneses, the person next door says, oh, you're not doing spring this, and you're not playing in a camp, and you're not playing winter, and you're not doing... Well, then eventually they end up so much more skilled than your kid that you can't possibly be on the same team as them. And now you're getting dropped down. Your kid can't play with their friends. Your kid doesn't get an opportunity to go up to the next level the next year. And so what do you have to do? Quit whatever other sport you're in. And I'm not telling an exact situation from our life, but you see it all the time. You see it constantly. And now kids are not playing multiple sports, or if they are, they're now so overscheduled that they don't have time to be kids. And more will come in and listen to us talk about this and be like, when do your kids have time to just be kids? I'm like, oh, right, never. But if my kids weren't doing 27 different activities, guess what? They wouldn't be. Their friends wouldn't. Their friends are off doing 27 activities, so they wouldn't have an opportunity to see their friends anyway. So they'd just be sitting at home by themselves.
So the answer, Salk, is very simple: yes.
The answer is always just yes. Yeah, it is brutal,
No,
and
so
I'm so frustrated by it.
I'll tell you one thing, just from some experience, and I guess I can't say about coaching because I got a buzzer now, so I'm not gonna say that.
Now that I'm a coach, now that I know because I'm a coach,
I will say one of the more beneficial tools and a piece of encouragement that I would give, and I don't know the exact age of this. It's probably not when Johnny and Susie are 8. It's probably as they get closer to puberty, is to say, what is the end goal? Molly and I went for a walk yesterday, and we ran into our 14U baseball coach. What a wonderful human being. And he was one of our favorite coaches. And he had a son on the team. And he was talking about his son, who's now a junior, and having the conversation with his son, like, do you want to go to Tumbleweed State? I mean, do you want to do these, junior college? Right. And is that for clarity purposes? You're not a Power 4 kid, right? You're not like the biggest and the strongest and the fastest, but you love baseball and your skill's pretty good and you poured your life into it. And if you want to go to Tumbleweed State, Mom and I will support that. And then the next JUCO, and then maybe the next JUCO. And we see it. Look at the bios on so many of these players, right? I mean, that is the path and the journey. So having some clarity of mission.
Yes.
What do you really want out of this? Do you want to just be a great high school player? Right? Then then you can be a great high school player.
I don't know if you can.
You can be a contributing high school player and play multiple sports.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know. Okay, so perfect. This is great timing. You want to know great? No, hold on. Great timing. Great timing. Because literally, okay, I had that conversation on a walk, and then I did dialogue with the head coach, and he's like, you know what was awesome about today is getting all the lacrosse guys back. And you know what you realize? Exactly what Justin Toole said. Their movement, it frustrated me they weren't in the weight room, right? Kind of frustrating they're not with the brotherhood and lifting and doing some of the football skill work. But the reality is they came back such better players, even though they've been gone for 3 months, because wrestling and lacrosse and rugby and those things and their movement and their leverage,
easier in football than other sports? Some of these like repetitive action sports, I think, make that harder. Baseball, and I'm talking baseball,
true.
tennis, golf.
Yeah, that's probably
like
fair.
hockey
Yes.
with its skills. Like, yeah,
Yes.
cool. Like, yes, that does work for football to an extent. I think you're right. There's just so much natural athleticism that goes into football, and the training in one will come. But like, you can't really do that with baseball.
No,
you're just gonna fall behind.
No,
and that to me is the kid that I guess I found myself thinking about the most. The kid that wants to play in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal. Not looking to turn this into a career. Not looking to turn this into a. Not looking to even like this isn't to spend money in order to make it back by getting a college scholarship down the road. Just want to play in high school. Just want to enjoy playing at a top level, but don't want to get left behind. So what do you do?
Yep.
I wish there was a better answer to this. It is such a challenge. And obviously for the elite level athletes, it's easier. It's one thing to say, well, just play multiple sports. Well, cool. That works when you're an elite athlete and like you can
really
walk back
run and
in.
jump. Right? If you've got those physical giftings of size and power and running, and you're just you just genetically you won the lottery. Like
but you
can
see
do those
kids
things.
every day, and I see it in all of my kids' sports, whether it's volleyball, basketball, hockey. I've seen it in softball, baseball, all of it. The kid that isn't all that athletically talented maybe is never going to be that big and strong and physical, but they've been learning the skills since they were 2 years old, and they've practiced and had it drilled into them over and over again, so that by the time they're 8 or 10 or 12 or 15,
their skill development
is so far beyond everybody else that you're like, well, you can't not put them on the team.
Right.
They deserve it. They're really good, and they've worked really hard.
Yeah.
But okay, like it's almost like they're taking a spot by committing to this one by specializing.
Yeah.
So now like, okay, I don't want to specialize. Cool. Well, as you just said, little Johnny or Susie has been doing this every day since she was 2.
Yep.
Well, now what? I can't get a spot because Susie's really, really skilled. She's not that talented, but she's incredibly skilled.
Yeah.
What, are you not going to make a spot for her? She deserves it. But you're not going to make a spot for the other kid who is more talented and has been doing 3 different sports and doesn't have all of those skills, but you can try to teach them. I swear to God, you could go around in a circle with this thing forever.
Sounds like you're putting way too much stress on kids. Like, I just ran track in high school and I enjoyed it and I had fun and it wasn't like a big deal.
But that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying. You're literally the person I'm trying to help. The person who just wants to play in high school.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. The problem is,
I mean, Lyle said he had a similar experience. It wasn't intense.
That's 20 years ago. I'm not saying like
I wasn't in college 20 years ago, or high school 20 years.
He was in high school how long ago? 15 years ago? 10. Okay. But that means he was in youth sports 20 years ago. You're literally the person I'm talking to. And track maybe is a little bit different because it's a no-cut sport and you can but like the person who just wants to do exactly what you just said.
I was good, but like I wasn't the best.
If you wanted to do that now, you wouldn't be able to make it because there'd be 50 other kids that have been specializing in the 200 or the 400 or whatever since they were 2 years old.
Yep.
And you'd be like, I just want to run track in high school. But somebody else has screwed that up for you because they're obsessed with their kid running the 2 and 400 in high school. So you're literally the person I'm talking about who doesn't have the opportunity to just play in high school because it's fun. It sucks. You're right. They are putting too much on kids. But the problem is there's no escaping it if you want your kid to just be able to play. Right. It's so brutal. It's so brutal. 503 wants to know if we're taking calls on this. No, we're not. And we're going to move on. And it's just sort of one of these debates and conversations we come back to every now and again. And Justin Toole just kind of got me thinking about it and wondering what he's looking for at the big league level. And I know there's a lot of parents
Lyle, did you
out there.
overly specialize? Were you a one sport? But you were just a baseball guy, right? No, you played multiple sports at the high school level?
Yeah.
What would be your encouragement? What would be your 2 cents? How did that process unfold for you? I know that ultimately your team won a state title. Like, what would be your advice and counsel?
I mean, most of my friends played multiple sports, and they found a way to balance it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just, don't specialize. That's what they always say, right?
Yeah.
They say it.
Yep.
But the problem is it only works if no one does it. Right? It only works if everyone listens. And the moment people start specializing, then you feel like you've got to start specializing. And now you run into that challenge. So, yeah, it's a conundrum. I don't have a good answer to it. But we'll keep talking about it. And then, we'll try to bring on some experts at some point, maybe this summer, to talk through this a little bit more. Just some people that are in it, I guess. Some people with some different points of view, I guess I should say. Because you're right.
I think there's some middle points with this. Again, this wasn't a problem 10 years ago when I was in high school. Most of my friends, I had friends who played 3 sports.
But again, that's, I think, somewhat because when you were in youth sports 20 years ago, people weren't specializing.
I don't know. You guys do have some different experiences where, like, Brock School is known for football.
True.
Your daughter's playing a sport that's a little different because it's not really offered at the school, right?
It's not offered at school, no.
So you guys do have some unique experiences.
But I've talked to a lot of other people, though. I mean, like, there's I don't think it's unique to those two things. And yes, Brock's situation is a little unique with kids that are going to be talented, tall enough, athletic enough to play in college or professionally. I mean, that is... Most people don't have kids that are 6'6" at 15 years old. That's an extreme example. I get it.
But the other challenge with our school, Maura, is every parent is paying what they're paying because they believe their kid is a college or pro athlete.
Oh, yeah. It sounds very
Which is a whole different problem.
There's all sorts of
Oh, my gosh. All right, we got to take a quick break. We're running late. I could talk about this all day. It's essentially my life these days. But let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll give you everything you need to know. We'll talk to Adam Jude, and then we'll get out of here. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Big time swings.
Here's the offer to Randy. Swung on. Drill.
And big time moments.
Goodbye, Randy Arozarena.
Big win yesterday.
They've kind of withstood some body blows.
Now, the Mariners hit the road for 3 in KC before a 3-game battle for first place in the West against the A's in Sacramento. Mariners, Royals, tomorrow afternoon. First pitch at 4:40. Pre-game at 3:30.
A happy flight to Kansas City.
Hear every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
All right, Mike Salk here, and Cruising into Summer is back at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Yes, Cruise into Summer with trucks and Harley-Davidsons with drawings every Sunday in June. You can earn entries now through June 28th. Sunday qualifying drawings 4 to 10 o'clock, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. with Sunday night finale drawings at 10. Grand finale drawings June 28th at noon and 11 p.m. where 4 guests will get a chance to drive away in a new Ford truck or a Harley-Davidson. It's all at Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ew.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Woodworker, check. Metalworker or material handler, check. Equipment Sales and Surplus in Auburn offers competitive pricing on leading brands like Jet, Powermatic, Wilton, Bailey, and others. Whether you're a hobbyist or a fabrication shop needing metal forming machines, they have hundreds of machines and accessories. The only dealer offering scratch and dent and discounted items. Check them out in Auburn. EquipmentSalesandSurplus.com. Your go-to for woodworking, metalworking, or material handling. That's EquipmentSalesandSurplus.com.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman speaking to those who have recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. I spoke with Dr. Meyer, the medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center, and Dr. Meyer said Swedish CyberKnife patients are really satisfied with their experience. They report very few side effects, and they're seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later. To learn more, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate or call 206-320-7187.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead, explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Well, just so you know, there's about 9 million text messages here regarding the youth sports thing. Yeah. I get it. And not to mention the personal texts I got from a lot of different people, including some important people around the city and people with very different backgrounds, plus Ryan Divish. I mean, like, sorry, Ryan. There's
no topic that generates a wider net.
It's true.
Because so many people that I'm sure that are sports fans and listen and consume this, you got kids that have been through this process or grandkids going through this process, or how do we remedy this process? Because there's just, you want kids to play. You want them to have fun. And where is the fun in the play?
Yeah, and I appreciate the people who say that this is a you thing, Salk, or you're not even listening to Lyle. I'm not listening or discounting. I think some of it has changed. And when you see the number of people on the text saying, yeah, you're speaking to me right now, this is exactly what I'm dealing with, it's not just a me thing. It may not be universal, that's for sure. And yeah, you get into the cost element of it as well. I mean, there are a lot. Brock, you and I have been talking and debating about this forever, but yeah, I think we will try and do a little bit more on it this summer. That's a plan I would really like to, and maybe even go long with some people. Maybe we'll do it in our digital lab downstairs and, go long with a couple of people and have some longer conversations that we can shorten here for radio, but put up the entire thing on YouTube and as a podcast. Because there are a lot of different opinions, and I really would love parents to have a little bit more opportunity to hear more of them.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Good win for the Mariners yesterday. We've been talking about that. And I do just want to throw a little bit more credit at Randy Arozarena. Not to get your goat, Brock. Honestly, I'm not for that purpose.
I'm going to give him credit when it's due. And he's absolutely due.
It's not for that. I just want to make sure we're giving Randy credit. What he's doing right now is pretty incredible. He's been the best player on their team.
Yep.
Certainly their best hitter.
Yep. And his Cal has been out a week now or so. He's been the one that's by far done the most damage.
Yeah, it wasn't Julio and Naylor, as I suggested in my video last week, who've stepped up. It's Randy. Now, you could also argue they haven't won that many games during that time, and they really actually need Julio and Naylor to step up and kind of do their thing. But credit Randy, he is a multi-talented kind of guy. He's got so many different skills that he brings. I was just thinking about how funny it is that Justin Toole's last name is Toole, and that, tools are one of the big things they look at throughout the, a major league farm system. Randy's got a lot of tools. He is almost as toolsy as anyone on the team.
His career high in WAR was in 2021.
Okay.
Where he had a 4.2.
Okay, let me
He
guess.
is on pace right now.
About 8?
7.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be awesome. If you got a 7-win season out of Randy Arozarena, that would just be an enormously beneficial thing for this team. Enormous. Great to see Matt Brash out there yesterday as well. Another just weapon for the team. And then you get this JP Crawford thing. Kudos to JP for going to the team, going to the organization and saying, yeah, I'd be perfectly happy to move to third. In fact, how do I make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it just came up and a thought in my head. And, I want to be a Mariner for life. And I think that's the best way to do it. And, just always being open to helping the team win.
And game recognizes game. Just as Colt Emerson's peers in high school, that probably was my favorite anecdote from our conversation with the front office member there, Justin Toole with the Mariners, saying through the draft and evaluation process, question we love to ask. It's a great question. Other up-and-coming, top talented guys is if it's not you, who would you draft if you were us? And over again, it was Colt Emerson.
Cool story.
It was Colt Emerson. And I think JP can look at that and see the youth and see the bounce and see the explosiveness and see what he does, especially defensively. There's going to be some bumps in the road offensively, and there's no question about that. But what he can do with his range, I can't do that anymore. So let me play. But my bat's better, and my bat needs to be in this lineup, and my bat needs to help this team. We'll get into more of that with Adam Jude here in about 5 minutes.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Something I'm monitoring. You probably don't know the name Nolan Teasley. He's been the Seahawks assistant GM for a while now, but he's been requested for a second round of interviews with the Vikings for their open GM spot, one of 5 candidates to get a call back. If he gets the job, obviously the Seahawks lose a bright mind and someone who's helped build this roster, but also they would get back 2 third-round picks, one in each of the next 2 drafts, as part of the NFL's minority hiring deal.
That's what I would call a win-win opportunity.
Sure.
Because I think that there is, I know that John prepares for this and cultivates his front office so that when a Nolan Teasley is lost, you move someone up from within, much like they did with Nolan. Right, when they have lost Dan Morgan and others through the years, just like the Mariners did with Andy McKay, and they elevated him to an assistant GM job. Justin Toole steps in, and Andy leaves, and you move people around because you cultivate that within your front office. That would be awesome. And I don't know who's got more boxes they check than Nolan Teasley. Like, he's done everything right alongside John, and he's seen it done at a very, very, very high level.
All right, that is everything you need to know, and probably some more that you don't need to know here on Brock and Salk. We do that 1/4 every hour. Adam Jude is going to join us. He was first yesterday with this stuff on JP Crawford, at least the first that I saw. And so wanted to ask him a little bit more about it, why it came about, what he thinks it means, where they're going with the piggyback. We got a lot of questions.
Oh, and by the way,
yeah,
he and a daughter go through the whole soccer world, too.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the intensity of youth sports? It's soccer.
I'll tell you, soccer is the most intense, right? Especially here in the Northwest. I mean, what I hear from the families I know that are big in the soccer world, and the couple of big.
So if you make certain club teams, you don't get to play high school sports. They tell you, like, you signed that contract. Sorry, you're not playing high school soccer. You play for us.
I was just hearing last night about a gigantic home being built in a very nice neighborhood in Seattle. And I won't give all the details, but the person said knew someone in the neighborhood, was like, hey, who's building that? And the answer was, the person who runs one of the 2 huge soccer companies, youth soccer companies here in Seattle. I was like, yeah, they're now like a gazillionaire thanks to how much money they're bringing in through youth soccer. So it is a big conversation. We'll do some more. I promise. We'll get back into this. But Adam Jude up next. I'm Brock and Salk.
Stick around for Bump and Stacy coming up next at 10.
That's right. That's what this news feels like.
Committee for
So there's going to be a committee to decide whether they're going to make an announcement and when they're going to make an announcement.
Give Seattle a team.
Bump and Stacy with Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross next at 10.
I hope you guys are prepared to be embarrassed by my behavior.
We're going to be on Hard Knocks for sure.
We're definitely going to be on Hard Knocks because I will drag us in front of these cameras.
On Seattle Sports.
Highlights don't win games. The full box score does. I'm Brock Heward, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERP, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
Summer starts at Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland. Go electric and go smart. The 26BZ with 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $5,000 in loyalty cash. Or the Prius plug-in hybrid leasing at $399 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Or finance at 1.99% APR. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through June 1st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on Earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms, so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Trex decking products on sale now through May 31st at Dunn Lumber.
My first car sale was from Michigan. I get this lead. This guy had been looking for this very specific truck across the whole U.S., and he's concerned about rust. And I'm like, why don't we FaceTime? I will crawl beneath the truck. I literally was on my back beneath this vehicle, showing him all the welds that he wanted to see. He agreed, put down a deposit, held the truck, flew out that night from Michigan. I picked him up at the airport. He had his cashier's check. We went through everything, and that was my first car sale. So here's the catch. If you're willing to put a limit on what you're willing to do to be a good person, to help somebody out, or to help in the community, then that limit exists. So you don't. You just do what it takes to be the type of person you want to be and to help people like you hope that they would help you. And it doesn't matter. You just do what it takes.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
If you're building decks in Washington this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite and PVC decking, railing, and lighting. Visit par.com to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Lumen Field on Seahawks game days is your key to unlocking premium hospitality, views, and experiences. Host a memorable event in your own private game day suite. Or see an up-close, unique perspective from sideline and end zone field seats. To learn more about all the ways you can elevate your Seahawks game day at Lumen Field, visit Seahawks.com/premium.
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to PendergastLaw.com. That's PendergastLaw.com.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Why is K2 Vision RLE a permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers? How is it that you'll never develop a cataract after K2 Vision RLE? And how is RLE different from LASIK?
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. We'll answer those questions and others when you join us for our free live webinar today at noon. Andy, what are some of the other questions you hear?
Well, how long is the procedure and recovery? Or who's a good candidate for RLE?
And we'll also answer, how much does RLE cost? Is there financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE?
Find out how K2 Vision RLE is the permanent solution to glasses, contacts, and readers.
And cataracts too.
Right, no more cataracts.
K2 Vision's free live webinar today at noon. Space will be limited, so register now at k2visionrle.com.
Join us at our free live webinar today at noon. Sign up at k2visionrle.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Yeah, that whole specialization sports, youth sports argument, you can just keep going. And each text that comes in, it makes me want to talk more about it. I will say this to 509, who says, hey, it's less encouraged now to be specialized than when the millennials were in high school because it led to burnout and lower skill levels. It may be it may be encouraged less, but that doesn't mean people do it less. You may be encouraging it less. Instead, people say, hey, don't specialize, but then the kids that do continue to move up the ranks. So it's a great point and a good conversation, and maybe we'll continue it here at some point. Adam Jude, I feel like I've been like his biggest one-man cheering section because I just think he's done a great job since taking over as part of the Mariner beat. And he joins us right now from the Seattle Times. Good morning, Adam. How are you?
Good morning. I appreciate it, Salk. I will take as many cheerleaders as I can get. Thank you.
Well, let's talk about JP. Let's start there because there's a lot going on this week with the Mariners. It's been like a really busy, loud week. But the best story, I think, it might be the JP story, and I saw that from you first yesterday. What do you make of JP coming to the organization to offer to move to third base?
Yeah, I think it's the best story of the year so far for the Mariners, and I have a hard time seeing, anyone really or anything topping this. Incredibly selfless move on JP Crawford's part. He's a 31-year-old shortstop with a Gold Glove on his resume and a ton of pride, and he has a good contract that he's finishing out this year, and no doubt about it, he wants another contract. I assume a multi-year contract from someone for the next stage of his career too, but for him to step back and be like, all right, what's the best thing for the team at this point in time? It's probably me moving to third base. At least he's open to it. So for him to not only think that, but to initiate that and take those steps, he knocked on Dan Wilson's door after Sunday's game and said, hey, what do you think about this? We see what Colt is and what his potential is. And if that makes Colt more comfortable with him playing shortstop, me sliding over to third base, let's give it a shot. I'm all for it. What do you think, Skip? And then for JP's agent to go up with the Mariners front office and kind of confirm the sincerity and the interest in doing that. Again, I don't think enough about just what that says about JP and his leadership. And the ancillary part of that is that it could make JP more attractive to other teams or even the Mariners next year if he's able to play third base, if he's willing to, potentially be a utility infielder, play some second base. All that stuff is important for the next year of his career. But at this point in time, it sounds like JP's priority is to help right this ship for the Mariners. And if that's making Colt Emerson the regular shortstop and getting him up to speed and as comfortable as possible, again, I think that's the epitome of a team leader. And as you said, good on JP.
And I'm guessing, Adam, just knowing you and your work, you probably reach out to the Ryan Divishes and other people that, have played baseball and play there at a high level. The next ultimate question is, can he do it? Do people in baseball think JP's got the arm and the skill set to be able to make that transition?
I think so. He certainly brushed off any concerns yesterday. He's like, just catch the ball, throw the ball. I mean, it's what he's been doing his entire career, his entire life. And, yeah, that's the one thing I've seen on social media, a lot of people questioning the arm strength in particular. But I would say the majority of the throw from shortstop to first is much tougher than third base. Yeah, it's a little longer, but usually it's more of a straight line from third base. You just got to add a little something to it. But the thing about shortstop is you got to throw from so many different angles, depending when you're coming in, you're going back, you're going right, you're going left. I mean, third base, there's not a whole lot of time to read and react. It's almost always the same throw. So, yeah, once he gets calibrated there, I honestly don't have any real concerns about what it would take for JP to learn the nuances of third base. He played there early in his career. I think it was only 26 games or something for the Phillies, but I think he came up in the minor leagues playing both short and third. I don't think it'll take him too long to get readjusted and acquainted. Again, he's 31 years old. He's a pro. He'll figure it out, and I think this has a chance to stick.
Well, we know that baseball has a way of working itself out, except when it doesn't, because last week we kept waiting and waiting for the 6 guys in the rotation to work themselves out. They didn't. So I will ask you this now, even though the answer is probably we'll wait for it to work itself out. But let's play this forward. He moves to third. Colt's playing well at short. Brendan Donovan comes back. Now what?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great problem to have. If Brendan Donovan's healthy enough to be in the lineup every day, you find a way to make it work. I would say one consideration here is Cole Young hasn't had a day off yet this entire season, and you would say, well, why would you want to give him a day off? He's been, one of their best and most productive players. But at some point, he's 22 years old. He wore down physically at the end of last year. You got to give him days off here and there. So that's where Brendan Donovan, he's more natural or comfortable at second base anyway. Again, that's only once every couple weeks, sure, but you can put him in left field, you can put him in right field, you can have him at third, you can have him at DH. There's plenty of opportunities to move Brendan Donovan around and have his bat in the lineup every day. Again, you give Randy Arozarena hasn't had a day off yet. Again, the right field situation has been really productive with Luke Raley's side of it right now, but against some tough lefties, obviously. I think they're more comfortable with Brendan Donovan in there, and so maybe he plays right field occasionally. So he becomes that super utility guy, and eventually, again, to use your word, it will work itself out. But if that is a quote-unquote problem that they face, I think it's one that they would welcome.
Adam Jude of the Seattle Times here with us all over the J.P. Crawford news yesterday. It's funny, Salk, because you started your last question to Adam in conversation about the 6-man rotation and everything. My mind actually went to Luis Castillo. And if J.P. Crawford goes to the team as an older veteran player, final year of his contract, Luis obviously has another year after this season. Is there some point where you could see Luis Castillo go to the organization and say, you know what, best for the team, put me anywhere you want? And maybe this whole piggyback idea is got more complications than it does benefits.
Yeah, it's not quite apples to apples, but there certainly are similarities there. And by all accounts, Luis Castillo has been a pro about this so far as well, and I think it's been a sound process from the Mariners front office and the coaching staff trying to do the best thing for everyone here, right? They recognize that Bryce Miller looks as lively and as sharp and as good as ever right now. He's up to 99.3, best fastball of his career. He even said it post-game the other day. He's like, it's so nice just to go out there and let it rip and not have to worry about various injuries. He just clearly wasn't right during the regular season last year, and this is just maybe the best version of Bryce Miller we've seen. Emerson Hancock didn't have his best start yesterday, but he's been one of their most consistent guys. You can't do anything with him. So naturally, you just keep coming back to Luis Castillo. What are we going to do? And there's a lot of layers to this with that contract. As the highest paid guy, is your former ace and all-star. You want to be respectful and do the right thing for the player. At the same time, with where the Mariners are right now, they have underachieved this season. What's the best thing for the team? And again, I think Luis Castillo recognizes that on the one hand and is willing to be a team player. And again, by all accounts, has said the right things and done the right things. But this is one of those situations, too, where, the agents get involved. Everyone just wants to make sure, the right decisions are being made for the right reasons. And, I do wonder now, too, if the Mariners are trying to thread this perfect little needle. And, it seems like they're trying not to hurt one person's feelings here a lot, but there's the possibility that they're going to start hurting a lot of people's feelings a little bit. And I think that's where you start to get in some alarm territory, if you will. Again, I'm curious to see how this plays out, particularly over the next week, because it was pretty clear what they should be doing here. Luis Castillo needs to be in the bullpen. And if that means, he only throws 20 or 30 pitches one day or 1 week, so be it. That's the best thing for the team right now. I know they want to keep him stretched out because you assume you're going to need him as your 6th starter at some point this year. It's hard to imagine all 5 of these starters are healthy and strong the rest of the year, but at the same time, with where they are in the standings, with what the injuries that they've had, I think the best thing for this team right now is Luis Castillo in the bullpen. He looked really good those first 2 innings the other night. I would just keep him there and really not complicate this thing anymore.
Are you surprised they're going to try it again in Sacramento next week?
I mean, again, I'm not surprised because, again, they're trying to do right by Luis, and it is still May. Again, if it's August and September and they're in the thick of a playoff chase, it would probably be a different decision. It would probably be a lot cleaner. But, again, they want to keep him stretched out, and I think that was unfortunately, one of the primary factors and the reason Dan sent him back out for the ninth inning the other night. He was around 50 pitches or so. You want to keep him stretched out. He had pitched pretty well those first 2 innings. Let's see if he can finish this. Let's give him this opportunity to go out and kind of feel good and really contribute, close this thing out. And, to me, that was the miss is like, it's a 1-0 game. You need to win that game. You have your all-star closer up. Let's give him a clean inning and worry about worry about Luis's feelings later. Go out and win the game. But, you got to start Bryce. They haven't announced what they're going to do. But to me, it's obvious. You can't mess with Bryce any more than you already have. Let him go out, let him rip it as long as he can, as hard as he can, and then you go to the leads from there. And, again, if that's only 1 or 2 innings, so be it. You go out and you do the best you can for the team right now to win that day.
Adam, you kind of sparked something in my mind, both with the reporting on J.P. Crawford, and we heard that his agent had reached out to Justin Hollander and the Mariners. You mentioned agents a couple times in your conversation there. I know from just the relationship I have with Brady Henderson, who covers the Seahawks, I know how big a role agents play in that NFL world with GMs, with their own players and everything else. Do agents play a role in your coverage? Are they a big part of conversations that you have?
Sure. Yeah. From time to time, certainly more in the off season, right? When there's a lot of more moving pieces and who's looking where and those sorts of things. But yeah, definitely the inside baseball sort of stuff. You want to know what's going on because we hear one side of it from the clubhouse and the players, and obviously they might have a different point of view sometimes than the front office. And then the third part of the wheel, I suppose, is the agents, and obviously they're sometimes going to have their own opinions as well. And a lot of times all those things mesh, but sometimes they don't. And again, in a situation like this, the Mariners are trying to do the best for Luis, but at the end of the day, they also need to do the best thing for the team. And so, of course, those conversations are had. And again, this isn't like a JP situation where he's got to be a free agent and he's trying to say, look, I want to be a Mariner for life. And I think that's sincere. And he's willing to say, look, if this works out at third base, maybe I can come back next year and I'm your third baseman. That would be amazing. But, with Luis, obviously he's got a big contract next year and then a vesting option even for another $24 million or so for the year after that. And so there are a lot of layers to this one. And I think we've all sort of assumed or had the thought that, the Mariners might try to trade Luis at some point too. And so, obviously he's most valuable and most attractive to other teams if he's a productive starting pitcher as well, not a one-inning, mid-inning sort of reliever. So
what triggers, by the way, what
Yeah.
triggers that vesting option? Sorry to cut you off.
I think it's 180 innings, I believe, next year. It would trigger that 2028. And so that's absolutely a consideration.
I could see why Luis might not want to be in the bullpen if that's the case.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
of course. So,
Interesting.
again, a lot of layers to this, and it's not as clean as JP just saying, I will move over, 20 feet to help the team.
Yeah, I'd be happy to become a reliever if you want to pick up my vesting option for 2028, right? Like, oh, no, I'd be happy to be a reliever. Just, pick up the vesting option, or let's make some, you could make changes to it, right? I mean, if that really was a sticking point, how hard would it be to go to Luis and say, okay, look, you're going to become a reliever rather than that being the threshold. Let's make it holds or, right, we'll figure it out. So... where there's a will, there's a way, and I'm with you. I do think that's ultimately the best thing. Adam Jude with us from the Seattle Times. I feel bad asking about Rob Refsnyder. I feel bad. Brock brought it up earlier. The whole thing is sad. They need Rob Refsnyder. They need a righty bat complement to Luke Raley. I appreciate everybody who's texted into our show saying that Luke Raley should be playing every day no matter what. I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong. He shouldn't. He can't. That's not what he's good at. But clearly, Rob Refsnyder is not living up to his end of that platoon. How much longer can they give him? What can they do?
Yeah, not much longer, and particularly when you got a guy in AAA like Brennan Davis, who's raking and who was a one-time top prospect, elite prospect, been through a ton of injuries. He's 26 years old now. The Mariners have nothing to lose with bringing up Brennan Davis at some point. I should step back. They have a little bit to lose because, Connor Joe gives them some flexibility. Rob Refsnyder, he's a proven veteran. He's a great clubhouse guy. He has been one of the best hitters against lefty pitching the past few years. And so at some point, you want a bigger sample size than 66 plate appearances at this point. He's, again, if we're mapping it out, he's like 3 or 4% of the Mariners' issues right now. And so you almost not really worth spending the time or the space to really dig too deep into this. On the other hand, they've invested a lot in him and they need him to be productive, of course. And I think one ancillary part of this, you bring up Luke Raley. It's like they face lefty pitching 2 days in a row. All of a sudden, that's 2 days that Luke Raley is not in the starting lineup, and it does feel like Luke is one of those guys. It's a rhythm thing with him. Once he's hot, he stays hot, and then when he's cold, he really stays cold. So, I don't know what you do about that because, again, historically he has not hit left-handed hitting well, but I do think there's a tipping point here where you have to start giving him at least some consideration to putting him in there against some lefties so he can see some more pitches and try to keep up his rhythm because you don't want him losing that. He's been one of your best guys, obviously, incredible start. And when he's right and he's healthy and he's productive, you want him in the middle of that lineup, especially without Cal Raleigh right now. So I don't know what the answer is. You have to give Rob Refsnyder some more opportunities here just to work his way out of it. But, obviously the danger is if you keep swinging and missing, keep striking out, you're just hurting the team there too. So I don't know what the answer is. His at-bats haven't been terrible. He ripped 103 mile per hour, one-hop line drive right at the second baseman yesterday with the bases loaded. And sometimes that's just when you're going bad, and they're bad results. But it's the results-oriented business, and they need to see something soon or they're going to have to make a tough decision.
Adam, Jude, fix youth sports in 30 seconds. Go.
Ugh. Don't get me started. I heard you guys talking about this earlier. I don't know what the fix is, and it seems like it might only be getting worse. You're starting to get, VCs and these investment firms involved, and it is just big business right now. I'm sort of slowly graduating one kid out of it, but then I've got another coming in with softball, and we're deep in baseball. And I love it on the one hand, and I'm the dad over there, trying to hold my mouth shut and stifle. I've had to learn over the years to shut up and enjoy the moment and let your kids play. And, we've invested obviously a ton of resources and a ton of time between the two of us, and we love every single moment, but it's there's a lot that needs to be fixed. I don't know what the solution is, but I do feel like there needs to be some middle ground, as you guys were talking about, just the kids that want to play and enjoy being part of the social atmosphere and are good athletes and just want to be part of it, but aren't looking to play in college or aren't looking to, necessarily go out and be the best of the best, but they're good and just want to go out and run around and have fun. We've lost that. I feel like there aren't that many opportunities at whatever club and with whatever sport. There needs to be something in the middle ground that's affordable and fun and open to a lot of people and a lot of opportunities. And I would like to see more of that.
Well, it's funny because you bring that up. Those kids right now probably wouldn't have anybody to play with because there's so many parents who think their kids are going to play in college, even if that's not a realistic opportunity for them.
Yeah, so I wonder if that European model, your daughter's soccer, right, Adam, going to Oregon or at Oregon? I wonder if that European model, Salk, where they have, and Adam, where they have the academies, and it's like, hey, that's your path. That's your road. That's, where you have the talent. And they eye you, right? And they pick you from a young age, and then you stay in there and grow and da-da-da-da-da.
It's kind of weird, too.
Yeah. That's a whole nother
It's kind of weird, too, Brock. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels very like Animal Farm. I don't know. That doesn't feel quite right.
You know what? It started to come out of my mouth. As maybe that is and then I'm like, no, then I'm just giving my kid to somebody else.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great either.
Not doing that. No. Okay, never mind.
That's pretty funny. Hey, last thing, and then we'll let you go here because we have to go as well. But first third MVP, is it Randy Arozarena?
I think it's got to be. I mean, Julio's right there. The WAR numbers aren't exactly the same. But again, if you would have told me Julio would be hovering around a 750 OPS on May 21st and the Mariners would be 3 games under 500, I would have said you're crazy. So this is a really good sign for Julio. But Randy Arozarena could not have asked for a better start to his platform year. I kind of went into the year thinking he'd get a Teoscar Hernandez type 3-year, $60 million deal from someone next winter, probably your Red Sox. At some point, he'd be a great fit there. But, man, he's really working himself to pretty elite territory. There's a dearth of right-handed bats out there. Randy Arozarena is going to get paid, and I'd be shocked if it was by the Mariners this offseason.
Yeah, that's a good qualifying offer situation for the Mariners, right? You offer it, 100%. He almost definitely turns it down, and then you're going to get a nice pick out of it. Adam, appreciate you. Really have enjoyed having you on the show more often recently, and as I've said a number of times, love the work you're doing on the beat for the Times. Thank you, and we'll talk again.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, there you go. There's Adam Jude, Seattle Times beat writer. I mean it. I think he's done an awesome job. Yeah. I really like his
and the combination of him and Ryan, they get along so well, and they take teams so well, and there's just
now adding Tim Booth to it as well. To me, that's not a shot at anybody else. I love the additional perspective that he brings, and I think
Adam's
he's done a nice
multi-sporter. Okay, right?
It's true.
He's kind of
done football and college.
He's done a lot of other sports and got kids around a lot of other sports, and he brings the multi-sports perspective.
Just gonna send our kids off to the government and let them do it. Should be fine.
No,
Everything should work out.
No.
They should all be fine.
No, they're not government. They're the clubs. They're not the government.
I know.
It's in Italy and in Spain, it's all those clubs.
Yeah, I'm sure that here in America, that's going to go over real well.
Oh yeah,
that sounds like something.
Well, I mean, we have it. We have it at IMG Academy in high school.
We got some of it. You're right. There is a little of it,
and there's more and more of that wants to get involved, and you're going to see more of it. And I understand there's maybe even a place there not far from where you're sitting right now that wants to turn itself into an IMG. And it's going to spend capital to do so and has investors to do so. And, it's beautiful.
This whole stuff is really sketchy. We're going to do a series, Brock. We really are.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you,
I'd like to do that.
Well, and just to kind of talk through it even here on the air, like I want to talk to somebody who's working on this from the government side, because there is an interesting bill working its way through Congress. I want to talk to somebody who's dealing with this from the coaching side, probably a couple of different people with different coaching perspectives and different sports at different levels. And if you guys have other types of suggestions for, maybe other people from the pro or college level as well in terms of what they're looking for. And I think there is a mini series here.
Yep.
I'm sure there's people out there who are already doing this as a podcast or whatever. So I'm not looking to make this a permanent, weekly part of our life. But I do think there's an interesting mini series looking at this from a bunch of different perspectives, because there's a lot of sketchiness and there's still a lot of positive. And sometimes the sketchiness.
Well, and you felt it. I'm glad you got to feel that in this last season of your life with your like that.
The
those
last
are some
season of my life.
No, the last season of that hockey life.
Easy. I'm hoping I have more seasons of my life.
You have a lot more.
Man.
But that
just
chapter.
Ended things quickly.
Excuse me.
Oh, the chapter.
That chapter.
That sounds better.
With the parents and the kids.
Better.
It's a mountaintop.
It is. All right, we got to go. We're done. Actually, we're both out tomorrow, so we'll see you on Tuesday. It's a long weekend.
Goodness.
I'm Mike Salk. I'm a professional moron.
Thanks, Maura. Please play that more. We'll see you guys soon. And until then, the hay is where? Oh, it's in the barn.
Get to the chopper!
See you, everybody.
Stick around for Bump and Stacy coming up next at 10.
That's right. That's what this news feels like.
Committee for
so there's going to be a committee to decide whether they're going to make an announcement and when they're going to make an announcement.
Give Seattle a team.
Bump and Stacy with Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross next at 10.
I hope you guys are prepared to be embarrassed by my behavior.
We're going to be on Hard Knocks for sure.
We're definitely going to be on Hard Knocks because I will drag us in front of these cameras.
On Seattle Sports.
Summer starts at Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland. Go electric and go smart. The 26BZ with 0% financing for 72 months, plus up to $5,000 in loyalty cash. Or the Prius plug-in hybrid leasing at $399 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Or finance at 1.99% APR. Whether you're in the north or the south, they got you covered. Visit ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. Offers valid through June 1st, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
Visit Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
It's National Safe Boating Week, and America's Boating Clubs of Washington wants you to know boating can be safe and fun. Always wear a life jacket, never boat under the influence, and take a safe boating course. America's Boating Clubs offer free Coast Guard approved vessel safety checks, boating skills courses, on-the-water training, and social activities. An educated boater is a better boater. There are 10 America's Boating Clubs throughout Washington State. Go to soundboating.com. America's Boating Clubs of Washington.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
90s weekend is coming up as the Mariners take on the D-backs. The fun gets started May 29th with 90s Fireworks Night presented by T-Mobile. Then it's back-to-back giveaways with Julio Rodriguez sleeveless jerseys on May 30th and Ken Griffey Jr. pins on May 31st, both presented by Key Bank. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
The NBA playoffs are underway, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. San Antonio is currently trading at 19% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade pays out over $500 if they take the title. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shaft.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, and scores to settle. All the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you can win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the entire season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase is necessary. See websites for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it,